This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up! He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion! Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see? He got him a power slam! He got him a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
Always maintain that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get to see knee deep. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport.
The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Bam! Listen, it's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips on the biggest times in the WWE! Somebody stop the damn man! Enough's enough!
What? The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Sam's got your grill! Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So escape from reality?
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
I am reality.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Oh, it's live, Hal.
Let the shredder begin!
It is now time for
Wrestling with
Reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
number one to be the man, baby. You have to beat the man. Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun because Vader has the PhD in pain. You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You son of a bitch! For what you did, you will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. This is episode 19, and the title of tonight's show is Has the Bloodline Jumped the Shark? Oh, man, so I'm not going to go it alone. I already see the co-host with the most, producer extraordinaire, Vancat, is already with us. What's going on, Vancat?
What's going on, Trevor? What's up, MD?
I can't call it. He done jumped the gun. I was going to introduce Mr. MD, but he done already beat me to it. So here go MD. MD bright and early in the building for the second week in a row. I'm talking about the shark is in the chat. The link is in the chat. What's up, MD?
Hey, what's up with y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Hey,
How
what's
y'all
going
doing?
on? So MD, right quick, like, and I ain't trying to start no drama because I try to avoid drama at all costs, but I'm about to start a petition to free MD. I want the wind of the Straight Talk Society to be the wind that lifts the eagle's wings of the great MD. How does that sound?
I got you, man. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, I already consider myself part of Straight Talk Society, so you know what I mean. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's as far as I'm gonna go with it, man. But I just want to see MD free, man. MD need to spread his wings and do his own thing. So that's me saying that. That's not MD saying that. That's 100% on me. Hey, and I do want to thank you, MD, for bringing Gideon over, man. Because man, he gonna fit in right. He gonna fit in right at home with the Bible guys. My goodness.
Hey, I told you, man. I told you.
Man, last night was crazy. they would not let me shut the show down. Like I was trying to, I think I closed, like, well, it ain't no different from this show. I think I was closing for like 30 minutes, and every time Gideon will say something, they'll get in another conversation. I'm like, oh boy.
Hey, man, you used to deal with the church, man. You know how it used to be, man. You think the sermon be over with, man. You still got 30 more minutes. It go on and on. You sitting there looking at your watch. You know how that stuff go, man.
Yeah, man. These jokers, man. Whew, goodness. So we
Oh, that was, I just wanted to say real quick, that was a good show you did, MD, with the Think Box about the Trump indictment and whatnot. I started watching it. Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, that was right up your alley, Van Cat. Right up your alley.
Well, it's reality. I'm glad to see you here right now.
so since y'all already started that, let me go and give this this quick update to the schedule. We got to delay Tape Fist Politics one more week, y'all. Unfortunately, scheduling conflicts and Vancat's not going to be able to make it at the time he'd like, so we're going to push it back one more week.
Yeah, that's
cool. Yeah, so it won't be on the 22nd. It'll be on the debut episode. Will be on the 29th. But it's coming though. It's coming.
Oh Lord.
It's coming.
Oh God.
Well, with that being said, quick plug. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. My next thought box, I'm playing the full phone call with Trump and Raffensperger tomorrow in its entirety. So we won't have no conflict of interest or trying to push a narrative. I'm not gonna say it. Hey, I'm just leave it at that.
And y'all make sure y'all check that out on the MD20. That's the channel to check it out on. The MD20.
Yep.
The MD20. Yep. Check it out on that channel. Keela, if you can, you could grab that link and throw it in the chat. Yeah, we got, boy, I'm gonna be on this thing every day this week. Wow, I got a show every single day this week and every day next week. Well, now that Venkat done, we push back Tape Fist Politics, that'll be good. That'll give me a day off so I can recoup. So that may be a blessing in disguise. So this is what we got tonight. We got a packed show, and I'm telling y'all right now, the last segment is gonna go long. The last segment is probably gonna be an hour and a half. Is a new segment that I want to do. I want to start doing going forward. I haven't told Venkat about it, and I'm glad that him and MD is on. So when we do it, it will spark conversation, especially for the would things be different if. So that's all I'll say. This week will be the longest because we have so much catching up to do, but we'll save that to the end. But for now, as I have grown so customary to doing, and I'm starting to love it, let's get into these ratings. So the ratings for Saturday night's AEW Collision. See, this is crazy. So the ratings for Saturday night's AEW Collision drew 476,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 demo. The show did a .17 rating. The show ranked number 11 among cable for the night. Again, like I don't know what the hell is going against. This is up from last week's 417,000 total viewerships and 0.13 key demo rating. Last week's show went head to head with SummerSlam, which was expected to impact Collision's ratings. It was the lowest Collision ratings to date. So, obviously we didn't expect it to be as low as it was from last week going up against SummerSlam, but man, it didn't go up at all. Like in the grand scheme of things. And they MD, the link to MD's channel is in the chat, so y'all make sure and go subscribe to that channel. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, it went up less than 100,000 viewers. And I'm gonna tell y'all, Collision is the best wrestling show on TV. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I don't think it can't beat SummerSlam. SummerSlam is a known brand. People, it's just a known entity in the business. It's not going to overshadow, especially since Collision has only been going on for a few weeks, a month and a half at best. So I mean, you expect the the setback here. I think they just need more time. I think after a year or two, then they could try to do that challenge, WWE a little bit better.
Not with Collision.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
Okay, so I'm gonna give.
They don't have any history. They don't have any. It just started like what, a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, but Venkat, they're going unopposed and still not hitting 1 million viewers with the top star in their company.
I get that. It's growing pains, but I think after a while of them being there, they'll generate something. They got to generate some sort of audience at some point. I'm not saying they're going to beat WWE.
Generating an audience is that hardcore audience that's going to watch them regardless. That's the audience.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, MD. Have we put too much stock on hardcore wrestling audiences? So we always talk about the hardcore fan. The hardcore fan is not that many of us.
It's not.
In totality, it's not that many of us. Piece of David Burns saying he's watching from Cedar Hills, Texas. Welcome to the Straight Talk Society. Yeah, there is not that many of us hardcore fans left.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when Collision began, like we said, we were saying that they was going to average around 500,000. We all pretty much agreed to that number.
Right.
So, it ain't like it's
after 6 months though, MD.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about Collision. I'm just talking about Collision within itself. I mean, based on what we know about TV and the time slot, we were basically saying 500,000 would be the peak. Now, of course, you'll have certain storylines that'll get interesting or certain events that'll happen that'll spike the number. But I mean, just a run-of-the-mill Collision show, you can expect to have around 500,000, whether the show is good or not.
MD.
So I don't have no issue with the number.
MD, Collision is the best show on TV. The best wrestling show on TV is AEW Collision. And
on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
I get it. And it's not even close though. Like there's nothing on TV that comes close to what that's doing in wrestling. Nothing.
I mean, again, that you got to go back and just look at the demographic and the type of person that is expected to be watching TV Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Again, it goes back to your point. It's not a lot of people that are considered quote unquote hardcore wrestling fans. I'm guaranteed you that's a bulk of the people watching. But for the casual, Saturday night at 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
You You know what I was doing Saturday night at 8:00, and I've been watching wrestling since I was 5, since 1985. You know what I was doing Saturday night watching Saturday night at 8:00? I was watching the Miami Dolphins' third string quarterback. So
yeah, that was a bad game.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Falcons for winning, I guess. I don't know.
But that just go to show you, as much as I love wrestling, it's still gonna come secondary when football is on. And I think they're about to take a bath, man. Now that football is back, like they are getting ready to take a bath.
I remember, Trevor, I think you talked about this once. So does the DVRs count?
David Burns.
Does the DVRs count for a watch? I think you talked about this before.
It does, as long as it's within a certain. I think they give them 72 hours.
72 hours. So okay. So that still accounts you then.
Yeah, but these numbers that I'm reading, so Collision comes out on the Saturday. Collision is on Saturday. The numbers I'm reading are from like a Tuesday. So they're counting for all the overnight views.
Okay.
So that's not good though. Like I don't want it to get canceled. That's all I'm saying. Like I don't want it to get canceled because it's just as far as a pure wrestling show that caters to the hardcore, snarky, elitist fan like myself. Like that's the show.
You ain't got to worry about it. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about it getting canceled. You just said it's the #1 show on TV at Saturday night. We talk about TV. We talk about TV. What else they gonna play? Transformers like they do every other weekend.
Yeah, but
you'll be okay. You know what I'm saying?
But they have and Mike is saying AEW has the youngsters, but obviously not, Mike. They are probably killing YouTube, and they're not. Their YouTube numbers are low. I mean, their YouTube, because so WWE will put out a clip, it'll get 4 million views on it. AEW puts out a bomb ass clip. I mean, you lucky if you get 250,000 views. It's like I would love
the Ring of Honor show.
I would love to know what the cap number, and there's no way we could tell this, but what's the number of their fan base? Like, if you could just throw out a number, what do you think the peak of their fan base is? I say about 1.5 million. And that's in totality. That's in all the United States I'm talking about.
Okay, I was about to say, because I mean, we talking about 80,000 in Wembley, so yeah, I will say that. But even if we look at it internationally, me personally, I don't believe that all-in show, that's like a spectacle. You know what I'm saying? The simple fact that you got wrestling going on at Wembley, people gonna come, like, regardless. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, I get your point. In the US, yeah, I say around 2 million.
I don't agree, MD. I don't agree. Because
let me say this real quick, Venkat, but just because to MD's point about the Wembley show being a spectacle, they know that the Wembley show is such a spectacle, they haven't even announced a card yet, a full card. All we know is like 3 or 4 matches, and they got MJF wrestling twice on that show.
But okay, so if they're getting, so pretty much you guys are saying that they're getting that 80,000 plus because it's a spectacle, and because if wrestling shows up in that area, that's going to happen. The only problem with that though is that there's not many shows that we can go to that say they've done this same thing. It's SummerSlam 92 and it's this. That where the other shows that have appeared in that area.
That would prove your point, right? That proves your point.
I'm saying
that it's WrestleMania for Wembley next year. What you think the numbers will be?
Oh Jesus, they'll have to do it 3 nights. They won't be able to hold all the people. No way in the hell.
I'm just saying.
No way in the hell.
But I'm saying, but there would be a track record of event after event after event that sold out for wrestling in that area. Because if it's so successful, it would keep happening, but it didn't happen. I'm just saying, AEW got to get some credit here for being able to pull that audience.
Yeah, but you gotta think though, Venkat, it take a lot of logistics to put something like that together for a wrestling show.
Right,
in a stadium. That's a lot of. I agree. That's what makes it a spectacle. Which probably gonna happen, by the way, because it looks like Mania within the next 5 years will be in London. So
they wouldn't
just
have
keep
had
that in
John
mind.
Cena. They would not have had John Cena tease it if it wasn't going to be a thing. They because they know exactly, because they're like, all right, AEW is going to pull this crowd. Watch us shit on them. That's exactly what they're doing. David Burns is killing me. He says Top Dollar has grown on me. So apparently he's a big Top Dollar fan. I tell you this, I saw Top Dollar before he was signed by WWE at an independent show down here where I live in Florida. So yeah, I agree. And he played for my Miami Dolphins, so he's always got a spot in my heart.
Oh, real quick, I just want to shout out to Tequila and Ricardo. Tape Fist Politics coming. I'm sorry for the delay, but we'll get there.
Boy, you I almost made a joke there.
Well,
you've been coming forever, man. Like,
oh Lord.
I mean,
hey, it's not my fault.
I mean,
the first time, I mean, this time is my issue, but whatever.
You know, you don't have a picture showing on your avatar either.
I'm looking dead at my picture here on my phone.
Yeah, StreamYard do that sometimes. That
okay,
that ain't on him. That's StreamYard.
Okay, because it's not showing up on my thing. All right, so and speaking of that AEW card, that Collision card, it was main evented by a great. Okay, so now here y'all gonna hear me say this. This wasn't the Revival's best match, and the only reason I say it wasn't their best match is because they had to share the spotlight with CM Punk, so they couldn't be the regular Revival. They had to carry CM Punk, so it was like a lot of it was playing to the hot tag for him, and so you had what do they call themselves, CMFTR versus the House of Black. House of Black is a fantastic presentation. I tell you that, man. That presentation is awesome. There for the trios titles. You knew they weren't losing. You just had to see how they were going to do it. And the match ended. CM Punk got thrown out of the ring, and then all of a sudden he just went off camera because earlier in the night Samoa Joe came out and was like, if you don't accept my challenge, basically things are gonna get real bad for you. Oh, so now he got Trump booty hole face on the thing. So he was saying how, things are going to get really bad for you. And then Samoa Joe came out, pulled him over the barricade and choked him out. So that was a really good way, especially I like the way they shot it. And then the Revival, naturally being dumb baby faces, they don't focus on what's going on in the ring. They focus on the guy that's 10 feet away from them. And then they end up getting caught and, they get pinned. So it wasn't their best match to me. So the streak of them being fantastic, they still was fantastic. But I just blame more of this on the fact that they had to carry CM Punk. But the Collision show in itself, to me, was one of the weaker ones that I saw. It didn't hold my interest that much. And again, I watched it by itself. I wasn't trying to watch it while the Dolphin game was on. I was watching it after the Dolphin game. And it just didn't hold my interest too much, but it still was a good show. So
hold on, wait a minute, Trevor. The Dolphins played Friday night. You must have watched the DVR.
Wait a minute. No, the Dolphins played. It was Saturday. Yeah, it was.
No, it was Friday.
Okay, so what the hell was I doing Saturday night? You know what? No, I think Saturday night we were having family movie night. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to say, because I know that for a fact, because the Falcons was joint practicing with y'all, and they played Friday night.
Ricardo saying Collision was very blah and boring. Yeah, it wasn't the best that I've seen this week. I know Mike, they all love to sing the praises of like those Ricky Starks and guys like that. Those guys aren't any good. Like, they may be good in the ring, but they have about as much charisma. Hold on. Ricky Starks. I want to make sure, is this the guy that was feuding with Punk, right? Because I'm not familiar with their names all the time. Yeah, he got about as much charisma as my water bottle. That guy,
wow.
He's a good in-ring talent, but he's a charisma vacuum. You could hear him. I took my belt and I beat Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Come on, man, get out of here. So they ended up they suspended him for 30 days.
This. If CM Punk is the number one on that show, Ricky Stark, well, no, I won't. if singles wise, if CM Punk is number one, Ricky Starks is number two.
No,
because it's as though Ricky Starks is exclusive to Collision now.
No, number two is Dax Hardwood.
No, I'm talking about singles wise. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Singles wise, Ricky Starks will be not, and he over, like big over, to the point where they booing CM Punk.
Is he really MD? I think they booing CM Punk just because they don't like him, and we're gonna get into CM Punk real soon. I just don't think they like him because he doesn't get, like, watching the shows. He doesn't get that reaction that he was getting before he got hurt or before everything happened with the Elite. He just does. Right. He don't get those reactions. Those people don't like him anymore.
And in that trios match, he was blew up. He was gassed.
Yeah, he had
that Roman Reigns fatigue.
Like that. That's why FTR had to carry him.
Yeah,
because he carried his own weight.
So you apparently watched the show. What do you think? Because me and Mike had this conversation. What do you think about those rapping guys, the Acclaim?
The Acclaim are. I like the Acclaim.
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't like them for nothing. I like the team that they were wrestling. That man, Mike, you tell me what the name of that team is, man. But that team that they were wrestling, that's a throwback tag team if I ever seen one. I was like, man, I hope these guys beat the hell out of this Acclaim with his terrible bars and them giving all this respect to Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn for what?
Yeah, I don't even know where they're going with that Billy Gunn. Like, is he retired? Is he? Are they doing another? I don't know what they're doing. So, and it kind of hurt them in the end because Billy Gunn was a big part of that act. So, by themselves, I will admit it looked more stale.
Yeah,
by themselves.
For that to be my first introduction to them, I'm like, man, this team corny as hell. Like, Mike was trying to big them up and tell me, oh man, the Acclaim's so dope and they do that scissor me thing, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, man, give me the other team that's in the ring. Them dudes look like they came to fight. This Acclaim team, I don't know what the hell their whole deal is. Them jokers, I don't know. I'm good on them.
The Acclaim is awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm good on them. And another highlight from Collision that I get into, this is my first time actually seeing him, but they had this big beefy son of a bitch come to the ring.
Oh Lord.
Powerhouse Hobbs. This man, this Joker here, especially that Big E is probably done. I could see Vince trying to snatch him up like immediately to throw him in the New Day. Like, this guy comes to the ring and he has what looks like a Bible, but that's the Book of Hobbs. And then he called out Rusev. He's still Rusev to me, but they called out Miro, and Miro apparently is a babyface now, so that's cool. So he comes out. Miro got a bigger pop than CM Punk. Like, fans love Miro. Miro was over, but then
AEW got some big dudes, man, like that they don't use. You know what I'm saying? Or use sparingly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They have Brian Cage doing dives last week.
Yeah.
But then they had two goofballs come out and jump them. So, but yeah, I think this Collision show had a lot more matches on it, but I don't know. To me, it just seemed like, you know what it did? It showcased how green the roster is. I would say that's what it did mostly for me. Like, it just showcased, like, you got a lot of up and coming talent, but if you take CM Punk off that show, they're gonna struggle even more. So speaking of, I want to before we talking, well, I'll do this rating when we get into it. So speaking of CM Punk, oh boy. So apparently after Collision went off the air, CM Punk decides to get on the microphone and have an old shootout. So he started dissing Hangman Page and saying how, he called him Pegboard Page because he was like, you can go to any local toy store and see all his toys hanging up on the pegs, meaning that he can't sell any merchandise and blah, blah, blah. And then CM Punk made the line of the night. He was like, I'm the one drawing the gates. I'm the one selling the merchandise. But I'm looking at this 476,000 views. Don't look like he's doing too good. I mean, so he might not want to say that one, but what? So let's just get into this whole CM Punk controversy. So apparently CM Punk is pulling his a superstar card. So according to Fightful Select, Punk is claiming to others that he wants to sit down with Page, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, but they refuse. The outlet reported Page is not interested in working with Punk and avoids the situation in general. So apparently Adam Page was told to come to the arena. Matt Hardy was told to come to the arena, and Dolph Ziggler's brother were told to come to the arena. Also, head of talent what do they call him? Talent relations was Christopher Daniels was also told to come to the arena, but CM Punk was like, I don't want anything to do with that because Collision is a good working environment, and I don't want you basically to bring your drama here. So what and I wish Mike, if Mike is there, because he been a big CM Punk banner waver. What, like, how much longer is Tony gonna put up with this? Like, I mean, when does it become diminishing returns?
I hope it's not long. So again, I understand that they want to try to I guess in the long run get something together where they could try to make some money out of this whole thing, right? And that's wrestling at the end of the day. I get that. But when you constantly got only one side that's doing the quote unquote work shoots and the other side just ignoring them, what does that say about the character of this person? Whether you're trying to reconcile or not, at some point in time, it's like, okay, like this getting old. You know what I mean? And if you're going into business for yourself and trying to make something out of it yourself, and then when Tony Khan turn around and say, okay, let's get something going, and you refuse it, what does that say about you? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it.
So
I don't even care.
It's disappointing. You would think that at some point by now it would be okay. Let's get over this and let's just go do what we need to do. Let's be adults. Let's pull our pants up and start acting right. But it's the same petty, corny behavior by CM Punk, man. I don't know. And like I've seen like videos of wrestlers talking about how he's misunderstood and he's a good guy and I'm in wrestling because of CM Punk and all this other stuff. Like they have all this stuff on YouTube. But you wouldn't need to do that propaganda if you were really, good or whatever. So he has a major problem. He's like the modern day Hogan, And the thing is like we live in a social media time where a lot of the backstage stuff is easily seen. Back in the 80s and the 90s, we didn't know a lot of that stuff with Hogan. We didn't know that at all. But in this time, he's completely exposed. So he needs to shape up, man.
But how much of that do you put on Tony? Well, let me read before you answer that question. Let me read this excerpt from this article from House of Wrestling. And this was written by Ross Berman. So controversy continues to follow CM Punk. New reports state that Punk was responsible for numerous people recently being sent home from the locker room before Saturday night's broadcast of AEW Collision. According to the House of Wrestling, Punk was the person who requested both AEW manager of talent relations, Christopher Daniels, and Ryan Nemeth, that's Dolph Ziggler's brother, be sent home from the show. Daniels was barred from the locker room because of his role in the brawl that followed Punk's tirade at the post All-Out press conference last year. Now, granted, his role was he tried to break it up. Punk believes Punk believes it isn't fair that his friend Ace Steel was barred from the AEW locker room due to Steel's role in the brawl and feels that Daniels should be treated the same. Now, as for Nemeth, the wrestler was reportedly sent home for calling CM Punk the softest man alive in a tweet, and for Nemeth's reported reputation of meddling in affairs of which he's not a part of. House of Wrestling also reports that Punk's post-collision comments about Hangman Adam Page being unable to move merchandise did not come across how Punk would have liked. Yeah, because he thought he was going to get the fans on his side. with the real AEW World Champion regretting calling Page a peg warmer. Punk has reportedly not met with any member of the Elite to mend fences since Punk's acidic rant last September. Page was detoured away from the Greensboro Coliseum show on Saturday night to film pre-tape segments away from Collision. There were also reports that Matt Hardy has been sent home from Collision, but House of Wrestling was unable to confirm the exact reasoning. So, bro, like this guy is literally being a baby.
I mean, it's ridiculous. He can throw all these shots at everybody and try to seem cool, but he can't take a tweet. A tweet? Yeah. Wow, that's crazy, man.
On this show before, Venkat told me that I got my mouth on Vince McMahon's ass. Like,
yeah, you do.
I mean, like that. If I let stuff like that bother me, I just kick him off the show. Like, we work together though. Like he called the man the softest man alive. I mean, I would have just been like, all right, hell, let me make some money with you. Let me carry you in a match for like 10 minutes and then pin you 1, 2, 3 and send your ass back to catering. That's what I would have wanted to do.
Right. They should get rid of him. They should get rid of him after All In, man. After that London show, they should just cut him out.
And this goes to your point, Trevor, about how much is this on Tony Khan? Christopher Dane is one of the most respected people in wrestling for over 25 years. You ain't gonna find nobody to say a bad thing about Christopher Dane. You know what I'm saying? AJ Styles named one of his children after Christopher Dane.
Yeah.
And you gonna bar him from the locker room?
Right.
Because you don't want to have no static with your quote unquote top guy. Quote unquote. And to your point, Venkat, you say he's like Hogan. At least Hogan will go out there and have meaningful angles and get the crowd. CM Punk ain't doing that. CM Punk going out cutting promos every week, wrestling, barely can catch his breath in every match. He's not.
Well, that sounds like Roman Reigns. That sounds like Roman Reigns to me.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm over it, man. If I was Tony, I was like, I would tell him, hey, look, get your guys, go get Ace Steel, whoever you need to go get. Hell, even FTR, I'm locking y'all ass in that room. Y'all can beat each other ass for 2-3 hours if y'all want to. When y'all come out that room, we need to get an angle going so we can get this money. You know what I mean?
Bro, is this legitimate or is this story planting? Is this like them just doing something out in the press to have people talk and get the smart wrestling fans to get on this story and this angle? Or is this something, that's going to lead to some kind of match or some storyline later on, but they're just feeding that atmosphere? Is this real or not?
So when I
what
first
if they're just putting it out there in the press and they're just reporting it as that?
When I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, this is just an angle he's shooting. But Hangman Page is legitimately pissed. So this is like what happened with them when they were going for the title. Like Punk came out and he was like, oh, the apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect and stuff like that. It just seemed to me like these two just don't like each other. See, and look at Bones. Bones is saying I've been sticking up for Punk, but this is an embarrassing. So Punk Bones doesn't think this is an angle. Like yeah, he's saying it's real, Venkat. Because my first intention is, hey man, I'm gonna pay this off. I'm gonna let them throw little jabs. You got the real world champion, so you got MJF and CM Punk will do their thing. MJF will beat him, but what would be great is if MJF beat him with the help of the Elite. So now Punk is like, man, y'all got me almost fired. Now y'all got me to lose my title. So we got to dance, and then it leads to this big blow off that make the company money. They can finally get over 1 million viewers consistently, and it's a win-win. But this guy just seemed to be like he got 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out. Did Vince McMahon fly to his house too? Like what? I don't know what's going on.
No, I don't think Vince McMahon will fly to his house.
Oh,
He's
no,
a liability. He's an emotional liability.
Man, Vince would take that guy back in a heartbeat.
No, he wouldn't. I don't think so. I don't think so. He's too much toxicity. They don't need that crap in WWE. They don't need that. I don't think anybody needs them in wrestling, to be honest.
Yeah, I just peace get in. Yeah, man. I just think, yeah, it's becoming diminishing returns to me, especially now. It's not even like he has more years ahead of him.
No, he's towards the end of his career, which is even more ludicrous.
Yeah.
If he was 35, then I'll put up with this. Him being like 45, then I'm like, nah, man, because everybody not gonna be Jericho. And Punk does have his moments in the ring where you're like, damn, he still has it, but his elbow drop off the top rope doesn't look good anymore. It's like you could see that there's things that he's starting to not do anymore. And it's just like, okay, he's good. What is he now going to be the new, when a wrestler comes back from a long break, now they become the punch kick guy. So they don't like Stone Cold. Remember, Stone Cold was a technical wrestler in WCW.
Yeah.
But then he became the punch kick guy. So it's like, so I don't know, man. I think AEW, but you know what? Again, I blame their fan base, because their fan base is so like, oh man, CM Punk. See, we're better than everybody now because we got CM Punk. Instead of just being like, boy, you know what? Let's just build up these new guys that we got that's really good, give them some TV time. Because like I say, now that I see it personally, that House of Black presentation is fantastic. Like I would have them main event shows.
So with CM Punk, again with Hogan, Hogan came into WCW. It was initially okay. After a while, he started getting booed. So, like
they
you
got
said,
tired of seeing the red and yellow, though. They got tired of seeing the red and yellow.
They got tired of the corny angles, the corny matchups, him fighting a fat guy every time. That's what it was. So CM Punk is heading that direction.
But
I mean, you just said he didn't even get the largest ovation. If you're the face, the face of the company, really, you should get the largest ovation when you come out. He's not. It's not fully there. So it's going to turn over a period of time to boos and all kinds of other comments.
I push back a little bit with the Hogan comment, only because Hogan, became very corny. That's why they got rid of him in WWE, because people was getting tired of seeing the red and yellow. I remember going over your house and every summer defending Hulk Hogan, and you'd always be like, oh, nobody want to see those ketchup and mustard colors. So even then, you were saying that then, and your brother used to tell me, oh, Hulk Hogan has hot dog skin and stuff like that. So y'all just used to, because I was the biggest Hulk Hogan fan. And so when he went to WCW, they tried to bring 1980s Say Your Prayers, Eat Your Vitamins to Southern wrestling. They didn't want to see that.
Yeah, they don't want to see that at all.
So it wasn't necessarily that Hogan. We know the type of person that Hogan is, and I sent you a video, Van. I don't know if you got it, where Hogan was talking about what happened at Bash at the Beach. I think I sent it to you. I hope I did it down.
And Hogan was still doing business, even though it was his business.
Exactly.
He was still doing business.
Exactly. He wasn't alienating the up and coming future of the company.
But he kind of was.
No, because he put over Macho Man. He put over Hogan, Warrior. No, he wasn't.
You're talking, as far as WWE, maybe in WCW, he was in the way. A lot of guys were resentful of that. Like Hulk Hogan's contract was totally different than everybody else's contract, and he sucked up a lot of the revenue from the pay-per-views and the TV appearances.
I gotta send you that video because he talks about that. He was like, he said, hey, my contract called for $250,000 for four matches. And all I had to do, he said, so they were going to have to pay me regardless if they're sending me home. But he mentioned, I'd never heard him talk about his contract, because whenever they asked Eric Bischoff, he would always kind of push it off. But Hogan said, he was like, when they did that, and he was like, all right, well, I'm not coming back. He said, and y'all still had to pay me the money that's remaining on the contract. And that's when he told the guy who was interviewing him, he was like, hey, I had $250,000 on the contract, and they had to pay me. I got one more match under the contract, so it's either they let me get that one more match, or they had to pay me for it. I gotta send you that, man. That was a good listen. And so apparently you didn't get my message when I told you I want you to cut up that Maven video, because so we could play it on the show, because I think that'd be a real good conversation piece for us.
Which one of the Maven videos?
The most recent one, the latest one that he did when he was being interviewed by this guy. It's the most recent one.
I didn't see that one yet.
Okay, because I sent you the link, and I'm like, man, you got to find some way to cut this up so we could play it on the channel, man, because I got 2 copyright claims.
Strikes?
Yeah, I got 2 copyright claims for Man Talk Monday this past Monday when I played that. When I played that video that had that damn a change is gonna come in there, and in my mind I'm like, man, why couldn't I find this without this song? So they hit me for that, and then they hit me for something else. But you know, they won't let me be great. They will not let me be great.
I could have. He could just mute it. The song.
But they're talking while they're sitting. It's talking while they're playing it though. I don't know why they did that. Yeah. So CM Punk, and next week we'll do a preview show for AEW All In from Wembley, because it's next Sunday, and I do plan on getting that and watching it live. So we'll do a preview show. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. I don't know for sure yet, but I think I'm gonna get it. Unless Bones want to come over and we and we chip on it, or he wanted, hook me up with his nefarious ways of watching it.
Man, that's a steak and rib combo with 2. That's a steak and rib combo with mac and cheese and rice and I don't know, man.
Yeah, I definitely ain't getting it. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and you know why? Because I want to see the Young Bucks and the Revival in front of that crowd, because they played a video. They played a teaser video to show their rivalry, and I ain't gonna lie, that got me hyped. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'll admit when something looked good, and that when I saw that video, I'm like, damn, I kind of want to watch this. I don't know why.
It's a shame they don't got a Peacock type deal.
Yeah,
man. Really a shame.
Yeah. I don't know why they got Adam Cole wrestling twice. I mean,
also, Trevor, that Collision. What I was telling you about Collision here in Georgia. So it's not Friday, it's Wednesday. They doing Dynamite, then they taping Collision after Dynamite. I mean, after Dynamite.
So please tell me you go into that
23rd. I'm thinking about it. Like I said, it's during the work week, so I will have to get off.
Collision is not live. Collision is not live.
It won't be live next week because they're going to London. How they gonna do it?
They'll be in London.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So yeah, they supposed to be taping it. As a matter of fact, I don't know. See, All In is Sunday at 1:00, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but like I said, they taping it after Dynamite on Wednesday. So I'm thinking about going. I think I'm gonna just take off and go. But we'll see. I'll know by the end of the week.
All right, let's if you can go to that, man, I'd love to get a live report from that show. So let's get into this. Let's get into the foolishness. Oh, speaking of ratings though, before I move on, I saw a very interesting story. So we know NXT on the regular draws about 600,000 a week, 600,000 viewers on a Tuesday night a week, which for that show, that's respectable. And that's been their average for like a year, 600,000. So ever since the Heat Magnet Dominic Mysterio's been showing up, they've been at 800,000 for his segments, which means that regardless of what Venkat thinks, the dude is over. Like I caught a bit of Monday Night Raw last night. I went back and I watched it before when I got off the show, before I went to sleep, and I'm listening to his segment every time he tries to talk. And you could tell it wasn't piped in, because when they pan the crowd, it matches. A lot of times they'll do it and you be like, man, this is foolishness. Bro, that dude gets heat, man, and he gets what other wrestlers wish they could get. Like that dude just gets heat.
Yeah.
And it's showing with him being the North American champion. And he had the line of the night on Monday. He was like, man, I don't want to be in this dump Canada. And then he said, wait a minute. I'm the North American champion. So that means I have to defend this belt in Canada. It was just crazy, man. Because he
said he just found out that Canada was in North America. I said, what?
He's so naive, man. It just works, man. He just, I don't know, man. I like his character. I'm not saying his wrestling is great. He's serviceable, but I mean, he's like the fourth guy in their group. So, I like his character. But let's get into the foolishness that is WWE. Oh boy. So where do I start? Let's start at Monday Night Raw. So everybody knows. So just so everybody understands, and this I will say, kudos to MD, kudos to Venkat, kudos to Mike when he shows up. Kudos to Chris and Bones. The numbers on the wrestling reality shows have been shooting up, like, and when I say up, I mean like Man Talk Monday type numbers. So I appreciate that. So you can't tell me that they aren't listening, because what have I been saying the whole time? Where is Piper Niven? Where is Piper Niven? So Sonya Deville got hurt. We all know she underwent surgery. She's probably going to be gone for at least a year. So the natural thing for WWE to do would be to strip the champions. But Chelsea Green, I like Chelsea Green because Chelsea Green has made the best out of the worst situations. So what she's been doing without the company's permission, she's been going on social media, trying to hold auditions for a tag team partner. And R-Truth, he sent in his resume and stuff like that. So on Monday, Adam Cole comes to strip her of the titles, and she's like, no, you're not taking my titles from me. I worked too hard for this. She's like, I'm going to do auditions for partners. He was like, you can't do that. And then she was like, well, if you don't let me do it, I'm going to sue the company. And I want to call your manager, corny, but that's her character. She paid. Yeah. Bones talking about, I heard Piper Niven. Yeah. Bones, hold on. Cause what I'm about to say right now, going to make your jollies jump. So she's back there and then Adam Pearce, damn, did I say Adam Page? Adam Pearce comes, so he's like, nah, I got to take the titles. Like, what are you talking about? That's stupid. So Kaden and Katana walks in and they're like, well, we want a shot to be tag team champions, which they should have been tag team champions already, but I see they're doing the slow build. And all of a sudden, this big meat hook just comes out of nowhere. Boom, knocks Kaden down. Boom, knocks Katana down. And Piper Niven steps up into the camera, and I'm like, oh yes, there she goes. And she grabs one of the titles, and she's like, I'm the tag team champions now. And I'm like, I said, hey, I'll take it. It was a stupid way to get there, but I will take it. And then so now, and so Chelsea Green is like, no, you didn't audition for it, so you can't be. And then she was like, you heard what I said. I'm the tag team champions now. So they have them listed as the tag team champions. So now is Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. So you got a way to finally get Piper Niven back on TV. I love it because Piper Niven is awesome. Everybody keeps hearing me talk about Piper Niven. Go back and watch the CWC and you'll see. Go watch her in NXT UK and you'll see. I mean, for a woman that size, she moves like a damn cruiserweight. And all her moves hurt. Everything she Vincent, man, everything she does makes sense. So I'm happy that that's happening. So that was that. You got Gunther and Gable are heading to next week. There was something else on Monday Night Raw. So apparently Sami Zayn's injury isn't as bad as they first thought. It's just a burst of sack. So for whatever reason, instead of giving the guy some time off, they still got him wrestling. He had a great match with JD McDonough, though. That was a really good match because JD McDonough is awesome. And Sami Zayn, even though they tried to bury him dead, he's still getting heat. So let's move on over to SmackDown. So speaking of SmackDown, let's go to the SmackDown ratings. And y'all can interrupt me whenever you want. So the latest edition of WWE Friday Night SmackDown saw the ratings decline as expected. And wait a minute.
Why was it expected?
Yeah, that's because preseason football started back. Yeah.
Bro, it's preseason football. Who cares?
Hey, it's football, Van Cat. It's football. You see, you see my avatar? It's football. So the
gotta see what our team's looking like, man.
Preseason, really?
Yeah, we gotta see what we putting on the field before I start talking all this cash crap that I'm gonna be talking.
Well, I just remembered, the season's so short that every little ounce of any activity you would be yearning for,
and that's why it matters so much. That, they don't stretch the damn season over for 82 games.
The 82 game season is appropriate.
So any
you need to put some pads on. You need to put some pads on for one day. I'm gonna get you some pads and a helmet. You're gonna get out there, then come back and let us know how you feel and what's the perspective after that. You be hating on football, man.
I know. I don't know why. And I do. If we had time,
just a bunch of guys bumping into each other to protect the guy in the dress throwing the ball. That's all it is. I can't stand quarterbacks. I can't stand football.
Jeez. if we have time, I hope they protect the guy that's in the dress on my team that wears number 1, because our season gonna go where he goes, because his backups suck. So please protect him. So the latest edition of SmackDown saw the ratings declined as expected. The show averaged 2.097 million, so a little under 2.1 million viewers on Fox, which is down from the 2.224 million last week, according to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. In the all-important 18 to 49 demo, the show did a 0.55 rating, down from the 0.62 ratings a week ago.
Roman was on there?
Roman was on there. Yeah, because we gonna get to the stupidest.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
we're gonna get to the dumbest thing that's happened all year. This was the SummerSlam. This was the SummerSlam Fallout edition of SmackDown. It should be noted SmackDown was preempted in some markets for NFL preseason because the games came on Fox. So that's why, with the show airing out of its time slot or network. The show in the same week last year did a 1.9 million. So it's still way up from last year. So quick SmackDown news. They've been built. Oh, sorry. I got to go back to Monday Night Raw. I knew there was something stupid that I had to say. So, everybody was bitching and complaining that, they didn't have Trish and Becky on SummerSlam, which they shouldn't have, because them two, they shouldn't have. So WWE's bright idea was, all right, we're gonna build them up 2 weeks time. They're gonna have this big blow off match. They're finally gonna do it. They're gonna main event the show, blah blah blah. So they didn't end up main eventing the show, but so they have their match. Now, granted, this match has been built up since February, since WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, they got this big blow up match. They've been feuding since April. They have the match that's billed as the final match. So what does WWE do? The match ends in a double count out.
Wow. Dusty finishes or something like that. I mean, it's just weird.
Because they were fighting in the concourse. I mean, a good old concourse brawl never hurt anybody, but they were fighting in the concourse and they got a double count out. Because Zoe Stark was banned from ringside, but they could always find a way around that. So she was they did the double team in the concourse. So now here's their bright idea. They've been feuding for 6 months, not damn near. So now their bright idea is that they're gonna have another match, the final match.
Oh wow.
The final match in a steel cage, because we know no one can interfere in a steel cage.
Don't tell Flair that.
WWE. I mean, like this just has to stop. I don't think Becky Lynch is anywhere near over as she was back in 2016. A lot of that is because she got knocked up. But I just don't think she's that good. Somebody has to say
not.
I don't think she's that good.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying she's not good right now, or even back then when she was doing good, she wasn't good back then either?
She was the weakest of the 4 horsewomen, bro.
She was the weakest. Oh,
yeah,
I'm being real.
Yeah, she wasn't good back then, but back then she was like nuclear hot. You know,
right.
like that whole man thing. She could have pissed on the damn floor and everybody was gonna go crazy.
Right.
I think the time off was bad for her because she came back thinking that she could ride off the man thing, and Bianca Belair had turned into the hottest thing. And Bianca Belair can actually go in the ring. Now they had great matches together, but that was more Bianca than that was Becky. Like Becky, to me, Becky is just not good.
But is she getting the proper I don't know, writing and matches or opponents to be able to be at a certain level that she needs to be at? Do you think that there's a failure with the writers or the booking in any way that is also to blame, or you 100% saying she's just bad altogether?
I'd say she shoulders 75% of the blame.
Okay.
But to that question, you could put Charlotte in with anybody.
Right.
Charlotte is just good.
Right. Yeah, Charlotte's great. I mean, she's great. Don't look
the same with Bailey at one point in time.
Yeah, Bailey's good. Wait a minute, is Bones saying Charlotte is the worst of the horsewomen? No, get out of here.
Wow.
Who's the best?
She's the best women's champion, Charlotte Flair.
She's the best. She's the best. She's their best. To me, I'd put her at number 1 so far as their greatest women's wrestler ever in that company.
Right.
Yeah, I absolutely would put her at number 1.
Well, not best wrestler, like for wrestling, she's not the best wrestler, but the overall thing, yeah.
Who's better? Who's better than her?
I'm talking about of all time in the company. So when you look at Medusa, when you look at Medusa, even those jumping bomb angels, like there were women that were technically way better than Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair
has together though, Fat Cat.
Huh?
We're talking about putting a match together.
Yeah, I still think Medusa would be better.
Wow.
Remember, Medusa is the one that didn't have the competition to wrestle against. So you can't judge Medusa. She was ready to go. Her opponents weren't. Charlotte Flair is living in a time where they're pushing women. Medusa didn't get that.
Name me a Medusa match.
Lord, I just said what I just said.
Hold on. Not against Bull Nakano.
Oh Lord.
But even those, like Bull Nakano was the worker. If you put a 1990s Bull Nakano in with a 2017 Charlotte, it's going to be one of the greatest women's wrestling matches
you ever seen. That will be Awesome Kong, Gail Kim.
If Medusa was wrestling today, she would be the best.
No,
man, please.
Charlotte has the luxury of this environment that we're living in right now. Charlotte is technically not better. It's not even close. I can't believe this is even a conversation. Medusa is way more technically sound than Charlotte ever was. Charlotte has the benefactor of today's atmosphere of them pushing these women, and she has that moment to shine. Medusa didn't have that crap. She had to make her own moments. So she did well for what she had. You put Charlotte Flair back in Medusa's time, Charlotte Flair probably won't even have a career.
Wow.
I'm serious. She probably wouldn't have a career.
I see the problem.
I mean, this is not a controversial thing I'm saying. This is
what he's trying to say. I really do get what he's trying to say. I get it, but no.
They're not even the same. Look, Medusa's a legit badass. Like Charlotte Flair is just, my daddy happened to do this, so I'm going to do this too.
You're trying to say women's wrestling was more stiffer it required more athletic ability. I get all that. I get what you're saying. The fact of the matter is, Medusa was not that person that you trying to exemplify. She tough. Don't get it twisted. But putting the match together, nah, man, I can't do that, Cat. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
It's a
We're
crying
talking about
shame.
ring psychology. We're talking about angles. Like
Medusa got all that, and I would put Sherry out there too. Another one that's capable. First of all, as far as ring psychology and knowing how to generate heat and keeping her story going, that's sensational Sherry all day. And I would put her in-ring ability up on Charlotte. Charlotte is good for what we have now. She's the best for now. But back in that day, I feel like there were women that were better. Again, but they didn't have this environment that Charlotte is being able to take advantage of. They barely had titles to win, let alone an avenue to perform in. Charlotte be able to main event WrestleMania. Those women back then didn't get to do that crap. So of course your eyes are gonna look at Charlotte as something spectacular because she got that moment in the sun to do that. If those women were put in that moment, they would have been able to rise to the occasion easily.
I see what you're saying, but I disagree.
Yeah,
I can't rock with that.
Okay.
I get
I
what he's
don't
saying.
see it's not even a close thing to me. It's not even.
See, then he say stuff like that. So
it's not even close. Okay. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what it is, MD? It's the Dan Marino, John Elway argument. If you put them in today's NFL, they'll throw for 8,000 yards with the rules to protect the quarterback. That's basically what he's saying. Is that argument.
Yeah, he's talking about hard knock style in the 80s and 90s versus now. I get that point. That ain't got nothing to do with putting the match together, though. That's all I'm saying. Still got to put the match together.
Even a person like a Io Shirai, Io Shirai, I'm surprised Bones didn't jump all over me when I said that Charlotte was the best ever. And throw out somebody like Io Shirai. But to me, Io Shirai is like kind of reckless and sloppy. She's great, but she's very sloppy and reckless. I will say they do have somebody in NXT, the last boss, Meiko Satomura, but Meiko Satomura don't even count because you never see her. Like, I know how great she is from watching her in the Mae Young Classic, but her body of work in this company is you could count the amount of matches on your hand. Like, it's not. Charlotte has put on banger after banger after banger after banger, no pun intended, but I don't know, man. Charlotte. There was a time where I remember back in, I want to say she hadn't even come up yet. I was saying that Charlotte, I told my wife, I was like, man, I can't wait for the day Ric Flair's daughter comes up. I said, right now, she is the best wrestler in the world. Period. And I'm talking about man and woman. She was that good. Charlotte is awesome, man. I don't know.
I like Charlotte too. I just think that if you look at it at a perspective manner, I think those women were, if they would have had her tools of today and in her situation, they would be better. That's it.
All right. So another crazy thing that WWE did. So they've been doing this whole US title tournament, and it ended up coming down to the finals of Theory versus Santos Escobar, which they've been building for the past 3 weeks.
Wait a minute. Excuse me, but so we have a US. Isn't Theory was the US champion, wasn't he?
Yeah, but you're not even gonna let me finish the build up, huh?
No, but I'm just saying, like, why did we have a tournament if he was a champion?
So they could get the number one contender.
Oh Lord!
Because they don't use a top 10 list like you should do.
Go ahead, continue.
So they had this tournament that should have culminated at SummerSlam. It didn't. So it was supposed to. It's going to be at the SmackDown after SummerSlam. Now, granted, the buildup has been Escobar versus Theory. You get to the night of the event. Escobar gets attacked in the back by Theory. He gets the tool case slammed on his knee. So guess what happens? Now all of a sudden he can't walk anymore. And so now Adam Pearce comes out and he's like, oh no, I'm gonna have to take you out of the match. You can't do the match and blah blah blah. So Escobar's like, no, I gotta, my family's depending on me and blah blah blah. I gotta do the match. Everybody wants me to beat this guy. So he's coming to the ring. Theory chop blocks him while he's on the way to the ring. So nasty heel. Kudos to Theory. So now they really got to call off the match because it just wouldn't be fair. He couldn't do anything. So Rey Mysterio mysteriously is in wrestling gear coming out to check on him. And Escobar tells Mysterio to go to the ring. And he's like, yeah. Doing the whole Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan thing at WrestleMania 9. Yeah, brother, go ahead. Yeah, go. What was it? WrestleMania? Yeah, WrestleMania
9. Yeah,
yeah,
so horrible.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Take my spot.
I know. It's so weird.
And the night ends up with Rey Mysterio becoming the new U.S. champion. So let me just ask it. I mean, because I get it. I look into this thing too far. They look to work people like my daughter. That's who they booked this to. But if you was going to put the belt on Mysterio, why didn't you just have Mysterio win the tournament in the first place?
Right. Unless they wanted to be shocking and unpredictable and we got the swerve. That's what they always want to do.
Ridiculous.
It's stale booking, man. It's that super kick. Oh, I'm your friend, and then you get super kicked in the face. Oh, we shocked you. Oh.
Man, speaking of super kicks, back to that team, the Acclaim. Oh my goodness, they got to stop with those thigh slaps, man. I mean, they don't even try to hide it.
They don't try to hide it.
I'm like, my goodness. I mean, you can see him setting up for it every time. Just every time. I'm like, bro, what's up, man? But
I don't think Mike would approve of that message.
I'm like, man, these thigh slaps, man. What's up with all these thigh slaps? So, all right, so that's that. I mean, so you have LA Knight, who should have been the U.S. champion.
So what happened with LA Knight?
LA Knight, what did LA Knight do? LA Knight came out, and I want to say, did he get into it with Top Dollar? He may have got into it with Top Dollar. That's what I was watching. I wasn't watching SmackDown. That's why I thought it was wrestling. I wasn't watching SmackDown live. I was watching the Dolphin game. That's what it was. So I didn't see LA Knight. I was fast forwarding it to try to get to the main event segment. So,
but he was in the tournament, correct?
Yeah, he was in the tournament, but he lost.
How could he lose?
But then, so you think the redeeming? Okay, so he won. He lost the tournament. He lost the tournament, and you would think that, all right, they realized the error of their ways. They put Theory in the Battle Royal, so that means they're going to announce that the belt is now up for grabs in the Battle Royal, because why would you put the champion in there? That makes no sense.
Right.
They have LA Knight in there. LA Knight wins the tournament, but not the title.
No, he wins the
Battle Royal.
He
wins the Battle Royal, but not the title.
Title shot, title opportunity.
He didn't even get that.
Yeah.
Now you have your SmackDown contracted wrestler over on Raw beefing with The Miz.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't even know how that happened. Like, I mean, they just started just talking to each other and it just became a thing, but it's just weird. Like, why would they even pair them up at this point?
So Bones is saying LA Knight, what? Yeah, so LA Knight beat Top Dollar. Okay, in like a 7 to 8 minute match. Damn, they gave Top Dollar 8 minutes.
So how did LA Knight lose in the tournament?
This was a while ago.
It was a fatal four-way, right?
Yeah, that was the fatal four-way.
The fatal four-way.
They didn't even have a tournament because it would have made too much sense to have tournaments have a tournament match every week leading up to the championship.
It started off as a tournament, but the last four, they just put them all in a fatal four-way match.
See, so this is right now proof positive that WWE don't know what the hell they're doing as far as planning and stuff like that. You think, oh, we're just setting this up. No, they're not. They're pulling out their ass at the moment And that's how they've been doing with the friggin' bloodline and everything.
No.
Right.
I'm about to show you what proof positive is. Hey, and for the record, I'm gonna say this at the end of this, but so we get to the main event segment. So Roman Reigns take 42 minutes to get to the ring. Him and Solo were there, and Roman's like laughing, like I told y'all, just gloating and everything like that. The guy still gets a react. Like it's crazy because whenever his music hits, the place erupts, and then they're like, "Oh crap, we supposed to boo," and then they boo him. But the guy still gets reactions, but nevertheless. So who came out first? So Jimmy Uso came out first. Was it Jimmy? It doesn't even matter. So Jimmy Uso came out first. No, yeah, whoever.
No, it was Jay.
So Jay came out first. Jay comes in the ring and he's like, he wants to know why, like what's going on, why, how his brother hurt his feelings and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden his brother comes out with the hood on again for some strange reason. Like we don't know who it is. So he comes to the ring and I'm sitting there. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat like, man, they're going to give it to me to finally redeem this, to try to save this. They're going to give it to me. Jimmy Uso takes the mic. And Jimmy Uso, with a straight face, says, the reason why I did what I did is because I didn't want you to become like him. I see what he has become. We were always so close, and look how manipulative he is. I knew if you would have won the title, you would have became like him and became the head of the table, and you would have become power hungry, and you would have started acting like him. I didn't want that to happen to my brother, so I had to do that. That was the best they could have came up with in however long, in a week. And I had people on Twitter telling me that I was overreacting when they was like, see, you was talking about they jumped the shark. See, they didn't jump the shark. It's a new wrinkle in the storyline. Let me ask y'all.
Lord.
Let me ask y'all, because everybody say I'm the WWE guy. I'm the guy that's going to defend whatever they say. So, well, before I get to that. So, Jay Uso ends up attacking Roman, attacking Solo. Then he gets out of the ring. Jimmy has already walked up the ramp. So it's like the whole, all right, I'm going to forgive you type thing. He tells his brother to come out. He super kicks his brother. Crowd goes crazy. Mike zooms in on his face and he's like, that's it. I'm out of the bloodline. I'm out of SmackDown and I'm out of WWE. And he throws up the deuces sign. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all now. I mean, I know work when I see a work. But my friend Venkat, that's been watching wrestling longer than me, starts sending me messages talking about Jay Uso is all elite. About to say, now you want to jump off? Wait a minute, Mike's saying he can't hear me. You can hear me, Venkat?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're fine. Yeah, you're loud and clear. Yeah.
Why is he saying sound?
I don't know. No, keep going.
Yeah, but I say somebody else tell me if you could hear me. But Venkat is, yeah, they can hear me. So Venkat starts sending me messages talking about, oh, Jay Uso is going to All Elite. They let his contract expire. And I just sent Venkat back a message. I was like, you please don't tell me you believe this. So Venkat, first of all, before we get into how stupid the angle was, defend your belief that you can't see through that this is a 1,000,000% work.
Well, first of all, there's no belief of anything. I was just sending you memes of what people were putting out there on Facebook.
No.
That's what it was. I sent you the memes of him being All Elite. And then people are saying, oh, his contract was up. That's what I was sending you. I don't know anything about his contract.
No, Venkat. Hell no.
It's true.
No. Yeah, Mike, it is so. Venkat bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Bought what?
You think about Venkat. Do you really think that on a guy's last night, if they let you go out like
They wouldn't have filmed it. Of course, they wouldn't film that. They wouldn't let them know unless they were trying to do like what Bret Hart was saying that they were doing, like when he went to WCW, how he got his permission by McMahon and how he was going to come back and stuff like that. Unless it's some preconceived thing, but no, I was just sending you the memes I saw online that was saying he was leaving and his contract is up. That's all I was sending. There's no big deal. I don't care. Look, I'm the last person to care about the my dog pissed off. I'm the last person to care about the bloodline, man. I don't care.
MD,
I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care if he went to All Elite. I mean, to AEW. It wouldn't even matter.
MD, you didn't believe that, did you?
No. I mean, it was half-assed to me, is what it was. You know what I mean? But
hey, y'all keep talking. I gotta take this call real quick.
Right, and another thing I want to say, I was sending them the memes and stuff like that before I even saw the video of him saying I'm out. I saw the memes first, and I just sent it over to Trevor. I don't know. Again, misrepresentation.
Yeah. I don't know about anything saying that he was gonna actually like I said, if it was memes involved, cool, I get that. But like yeah, man, it was half-assed, man. The way they did it, not necessarily say that it was obvious, but it feels like they're trying to rush the story and leaving certain things out. I thought personally that it was going to be more emphasis put on Solo, because you got to move the story to Solo at some point in time.
Exactly.
And for them to not use that opportunity to do it, like that's what I mean by half-assed. And now I don't know. I can only assume that Jay maybe is going to take like some time off for whatever reason. Like, you got to understand, this bloodline thing been going over so long. I can imagine how Jimmy and Jay feel like as far as like being burned out. They probably are burned out. Yep. So let them take the time off, do whatever. But where's that going to put the story now? Like, is it on hold? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why. Right. If you would have put
dead in the water.
If you would have put more of an emphasis on Solo, you wouldn't have to worry about if Jay was still there or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it was half-assed, man. I don't like the way they did that at all. You know what I mean?
Do you think they'll let him go to like because when the Summer of Punk happened and Punk left with the title at Money in the Bank, Money in the Bank, he the plan was for him to go to like independent promotions and show up. Do you think they'll let him do that, like show up at other independent promotions? Because the rumor is he'll be back like for Mania.
Yeah, hell no. Yeah, he going home and chill out. That's what he's doing. But like I said, the bloodline storyline is going to get stagnated. It's going to get stagnated because of that. Because you didn't allow the right people to get the spotlight to forward the story. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I don't think a SummerSlam main event with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns should have happened in the first doggone play.
They failed from the get-go when they pulled that rabbit out the ass. That was one of the weakest main events ever. Yeah, they don't have a story to go with because it's long past its point. It should have already ended, and we should have moved on to something else. I would have rather seen like a big confrontation with Roman and another person like LA Knight or Gunther. Do something fresh, exciting, something that can build to something more exciting and meaningful. This is not meaningful. The Bloodline storyline is just degrading to an epic level. And it's been doing that way, especially since that time when Sami Zayn was gone. That was it. They just got the appeal just lessened and lessened and lessened. Some people are taking longer to realize it than others, but it's very apparent now, if ever.
Yeah. I think everything that you're doing with the bloodline, you could have done with Roman like wrestling somebody else for the title. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's
but
my
that's the
whole issue
problem.
with it.
They don't want him wrestle, or he doesn't want to wrestle, or whatever the hell the situation is. You know, he's afraid to get in the ring, might damage a nail. He already got hurt in one of the weakest blood feud matches that you could ever have. I hate your guts. You hate my guts. That was one of the weakest fights or whatever matches you could ever have, and he got injured in it. I mean, there's something about wrestling in him. He just tried to avoid it all altogether. But they got nothing, and they're trying to stretch that nothing as far as they can.
Right.
So this is what I would have done if they wanted to continue this. I think it just ran its course, but I would have basically made Jey Uso Sting. After being betrayed by WCW, Sting showed up and said, "Hey, you're not going to see me around here anymore. Boom, I'm gone."
Yes, that's what they should have done right there.
He was gone for 18 months. Well, I mean, then he eventually started showing back up, but
when he comes back, he could have been a different character.
Exactly. He could have just been like the vigilante Jey Uso or something.
Right. A new image, new look, new attire, new everything. That would have been cool. And now he could have break away from his brother, be his own man, and really try to be a main eventer.
Because the reason I would have done that, not if for anything else, not just to salvage the terrible direction it's taken, is because you never want to run the risk of not having the Usos chip in your back pocket. Because now, in order to get them back, let's just say, because nothing, you could never say never. Let's just say they eventually get the Young Bucks in. Let's just say the Revival comes back. You mean to tell me now you done booked yourself into this ridiculous mess that you now don't have your best team to go against the best team from the rival promotion just because you wanted to do something stupid? They could have literally just been like, you know what, Jay, I feel like everybody turned on me. I'm gone. Y'all not going to see me around here anymore. Hell, they could have even did what Mick Foley did. Going back to the Attitude Era, when the Radicals first came in with Benoit, Malenko, and Guerrero, and Saturn, they joined forces with Triple H and somebody else, and I mean they beat the hell out of Mick Foley like that. I mean they beat the brakes off of him. And then the next week, Mick Foley came to the ring and he was like, "As long as I've been in this company, you mean to tell me that you guys stood in the back and watched me get beat within an inch of my life and nobody would come out to help me?" And he says, "So now I see where this is going. This is going to be the last time y'all see a good old Mick Foley." And then that's when he ended up bringing Cactus Jack back. But at least they did something to say why I'm writing you off, because that way Jimmy doesn't have to explain anything. And worst case scenario, in 2 years, you get the Young Bucks or something, you could have your Usos versus Young Bucks match. Now you done just ran I mean, my goodness, they just ran a chainsaw through the middle of this. Jimmy not that good on his own. Jay is the one with all the charisma. What the hell is going to happen to Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I said it's weird. It's weird.
I mean, he got Naomi, so I ain't crying for him, but you know, I mean, I love her. I love her new gimmick. So she'll be standing straight. I forget what the word is, but they'll show the bump that she have, and it'll spell out the word. So again, her ass-based offense just never goes anywhere, just because she ain't that talented. So you have to focus on her assets. But I digress with that one. But like, what is Jimmy going to do though? I mean, for real, Jay, we know Jay's going to take time off. Jay won't be back till Mania. Now watch them be stupid and blow it off at Payback. As we say, oh, he won't be back till Mania. Watch him show up at Payback.
Yeah. And I thought that the Usos are going to fight each other at Payback too. I think they could have at least just put that through. If you're going to do this horrible mess anyway, just culminate it there and then have at the end of the match, whoever wins, then have Jay say, "Okay, I'm gone. I'm leaving after the end of that match. That'd have been more appropriate than a random ass SmackDown doing this nonsense.
Yeah, I thought this was. I thought it was terrible. Like when I was watching it, I'm sitting there because again, I watched it on the delay. I didn't watch it live because I was watching the Dolphin game. And once the Dolphin game just was way out of control, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna. Then I went back, but I was looking at Twitter, and everybody was saying, see, they redeemed it. They redeemed it. And I'm like, oh snap, I got to see what they did. I got to see what they did. And so I go right back to that moment, and I see what they did, and I'm like, man, I said, wait, what? Is this what
for Jay leaving WWE? It does nothing for Jimmy or Solo. I could understand it if you write him off in an injury angle. I would have got that. Okay, now what position is Jimmy in? What position is Solo in? But you just outright have him say, "Hey, look, I'm out." What position does that put Jimmy in? Y'all a tag team at the end of the day. What Jimmy gonna do? Like you said, Trevor, Jimmy can't hold his own without Jay.
Why didn't they stretcher him out at SummerSlam?
I don't know, bro.
I would have done a stretcher job for the century at SummerSlam, and that could have been easily that wrote him off right there. You don't have to see him for 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I would have did. Like I said, just injury angle. But
what happened in the match that would have justified an injury? It was the softest pillow fight I've ever seen in my life.
After the match, when Jay attacked them, then they should have just went balls to the wall and just destroyed them.
These guys, we saw what they did in War Games. These guys can't. These guys can't handle it. They can't do anything that'll make it look convincing. Even that suspect injury that Jimmy got was so ridiculous beforehand. Nothing is working here. Nothing is believable at all.
They killed it dead for me. I'm sorry. And y'all know I love the Bloodline. I've been riding with the Bloodline since the Bloodline began. But yeah, I'm done. I would have had Jay disappear, and when Roman went to cut that promo and been like, I'm the best and blah blah blah, nobody could beat me, I'm the head of the table, acknowledge. So before he would have got that acknowledge me out, all you would have heard was LA Knight, and then that would have been it. There you go. There are your next program. He don't have to beat Roman.
So they're refusing to push LA Knight. They
moved him over to Monday Night Raw.
So they
got him working both brands. Pretty much. That was his reward. Now you can be on Raw now and SmackDown to get pops. That's his reward. You know what I'm saying?
So you got a guy that's shooting up that should be a superstar at this point that they refuse to put. You got a guy that is your champion that refuses to wrestle, and when he does wrestle, he's so lethargic and it just troublesome in that ring, sweating bullets 2 minutes into the match. By the way, every match he's sweating bullets, and then you got the tag team that was supposedly the greatest tag team in WWE history, which is just laughable at best, and they just destroyed that team. And then you have Solo, who's actually one of the more interesting members of the Bloodline, and they ain't doing nothing with him. So these are your top attraction. They completely screwed Pooch on that one. So how are we going to handle all the guys that are just below that, like a Gunther and whatnot? You got to wonder what's going to happen with Gunther. We assume he's going to be champion one day, but they're not really. Gunther can have a really good run as Intercontinental Champion, and then we'll be talking, man, remember when he had that Intercontinental title? And that'll be the talk, because what we see in the future may be some more of this kind of mess.
I don't disagree with you. You looking for an argument from me?
No, I'm never looking for an argument. I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating what I see.
I got nothing for you. I got nothing.
And that's not what I want. I don't want to see that. I want to see good stuff happening, man, because it doesn't benefit anybody for this crap to happen. That's why I'm happy AEW is in that situation that they're in with that Wembley show. I hope they do great with it. But WWE is like, these are unforced turnovers where they just throw the ball out of bounds every time with nobody on them. There's nothing. You have everything in your favor. You have the attendance, you have the crowd, you have the fan interest, you have all these things you didn't have a few years ago. And all you got to do is some simple stuff, and they're just peeing the bed.
Yeah, and Roman ain't, like I said, he's not defending that title until Survivor Series. So good luck with that. You know what I mean?
See, that'd be even worse if he didn't. That's the fourth biggest event of the year. So Roman Reigns better be defending that title.
Hey, you know Hulk Hogan's contract was the 4 big mains a year, and that's it. So Roman working that Hulk Hogan contract.
Oh Lord,
yeah. He's not defending on Payback. I don't even think he's gonna do nothing on Payback. Tell you the truth.
All right.
Yeah, because the guy that would want to pay him back isn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what the?
The best thing about WWE, really, honestly, is not the bloodline. It really isn't. It's those guys that are like right there that you could see coming up. The Gunther's, the Street Profits. It's those guys that you see something there, but they're being held down. They gotta have a breakout moment. LA Knight, they just gotta break these guys and go a new direction. This bloodline thing gotta go because too much sacrifice on the roster. Roman held that title up for both titles up now, 1 year and 3 years, and it's like you can't do any kind of growth with your roster. You got McIntyre just there losing when he came back after all this time, and it's like nobody has a championship to win. Seth's title is what does Michael call it? The Whopper Jr. That's not really an appealing belt to win. And he's involved with one guy at a time. It's not like he's facing all kinds of people at the same time. It's just a mess right now in WWE. Really mess.
Roman
Speaking
got
of that,
three belts.
Right. Speaking of that, Survivor Series, they going back to the brand supremacy stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So you might end up seeing Roman versus Seth at Survivor Series. You know,
that's the best thing they can do, to be honest. I mean, as bad sickening as it is,
they'll never let Seth beat him though. Well, Roman has never beaten Seth, so I guess because it wouldn't be for a title.
Yes, it would.
No, the brand.
No, it'll just be it'll just be champion versus champion.
It's champion versus champion.
Oh, that's horrible. It's got to be for the title, man.
No, it's not for the title. It's champion.
So he might not even for the rest of the year. Roman Reigns may not even defend his title. Just think about that. For the rest of the year.
you know what's gonna happen next? It's gonna be just like WCW, like towards the end. You're gonna have Eric Bischoff just show up out of nowhere, and you're gonna have Vince Russo. Hey, we're gonna split everything and everybody give them your titles.
Oh yeah, when they stripped everybody,
give them your titles. We're resetting the whole thing. This is horrible. That's gonna happen.
Bones. Roman is 0-3 against Seth. Roman never beat Seth. That was the run. That was the running gag when they wrestled about a year or so ago when Seth came out in the Shield uniform, is that Roman cannot beat him because when Seth came back from his injury, he beat Roman for the title. When he came back and attacked him, the next pay-per-view, he beat him, then he beat him again, and then they had that match where Seth came out in the Shield uniform and Roman got disqualified. He beat him with the chair half to death.
Did they wrestle at all for a title?
Yeah.
Or during these last 3 years?
May have been 3 years. Well, no, not during his during this run.
Certain run, right?
Yeah, no.
That would be an intriguing match to have. They should have that match.
So what? You want to put 4 belts on Roman now?
Might as well. Just do it.
You might
just do it. I mean, we're being coy and we're being playful about it, but he's pretty much there. He has 3 titles right now. They just made up another one just to say he has 3 titles, and you might as well give him a 4th. Just give it to him. And that tag team, he should have had that too. I really feel like he should have won the tag team titles. And then, the Usos should have beat him in solo. I thought that would have been much better. But yeah,
they did beat him. It just wasn't for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even remember that they just beat them, just so Jay could get the visual pin. And now, so you love them enough so y'all could beat them. Last year, Hell in a Cell, or year before, in 2020, when Jay wrestled Roman and Roman choked out Jimmy in order to make Jay quit. When he was, all that time, why you didn't turn on him then? It's just ridiculous, man.
There's a lot that don't make sense here.
Yeah, this is stupid. So I want to take our normal detour for the Hey, wait a minute! Did y'all watch the Cody doc? Is yet?
Yeah, I saw it. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. I watched it this weekend.
Oh, okay. So y'all watched it. What's y'all overall thoughts on it?
It was good, man. I like the transparency.
Right.
Though when you told me about it, like I was kind of surprised, but after watching it, like I was really surprised at the transparency with it being a WWE.
So you thought it was genuine, though?
Yeah, I believe it was genuine. Yeah,
because we know WWE, they paint the narrative, but I just felt like with that one, they kind of let him do his own thing.
Yeah, it felt different because, like I said, it didn't feel like.
That's why they're saying it's the best.
Right. It was a WWE documentary, but it didn't feel like one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like one at all.
You know what I loved about it though is when he left WWE, how they got the footage of him in the high school gyms. Like so they weren't just showing like, oh, Cody was this star from WWE. Now he's gonna go main event every show. This man went to work in like high school gyms and stuff like that. I thought that was so cool watching him, doing all the little independent shows and stuff like that. I really thought that was a good spin.
Him betting on himself. That's really great.
Yeah. Showed him in PWG. I was like, wow. I was surprised that they let that footage go and be in that. I was surprised, man. I was like, wow, but that lets you know how much they banking on Cody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the writing pretty much on the wall with where they want to go with him. I think they're going about it the wrong way, but that's a whole different story.
Are they?
You know what I'm saying? But they banking on it. This documentary shows you that they banking on it.
So there was something people were saying online was like, who's more popular right now? Is Cody or LA Knight?
Cody.
You think Cody is still more popular than LA Knight?
Yeah. To me, LA Knight is the hot hand right now. But Cody's been sustaining this since he's been back last year. And I just, because I watch both shows, Cody's reactions have not fallen off. So LA Knight a lot of times is his initial chord in his music, and when let me talk to you, he's the catchphrase king. So what I'm afraid of is Vince McMahon said when Daniel Bryan was getting hot, he said that people didn't necessarily like Daniel Bryan. They loved doing the yes chants. And so what I'm hoping is that that's not what it is. I'm hoping that they genuinely just like LA Knight, because I like him. I mean, he's not the greatest in the ring. To me, he says champion, like he just has that character that you could get behind. But Cody, to me, Cody, especially after watching the documentary, I'm like, man, Cody, if he don't leave WrestleMania with that belt, I mean, I'm almost to put my fandom on the line for that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why does Cody have to win anything at a WrestleMania? There's all these events, there's all these shows, and that's what I'm saying with that. It doesn't have to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah, the documentary shows it got to happen at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't. It shows that Dusty didn't win it, and he's trying to win it for Dusty and his legacy and the family and everything else. WrestleMania has nothing to do with the Rhodes family or anything like that. That's not a part of the legacy. And they try to. They're trying to.
WWE. This is WWE, man. We know how this go.
And that's the problem with it. That's the problem with it. Don't do those kind of things that is so stereotypical and just lame. Do it in a way that feels more organic and genuine. Like Bryan Danielson when he won
at WrestleMania.
It was at WrestleMania 30. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Don't do that crap.
Listen to this, Van Cat. Listen to this. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
The prodigal son comes back to WWE and wins the title, and it all culminates at Extreme Rules. Do that sound? Do that sound right? It don't sound right, and you know it don't, Van Cat.
If Cody wins that title at an Extreme Rules, everybody lose their mind because they just got the disappointment of that loss at WrestleMania. Now he has a second chance and he won it. That moment is going to be way bigger than the moment of that WrestleMania that he lost because now he has a loss. Now there's
20,000 versus 60,000.
That doesn't matter.
20,000 fans.
That doesn't matter at all. That doesn't matter.
It matters. It matters. Then you know it matters.
Nah, that's not a big deal.
Van Cat want him to win on random house show in Buck Tussey.
No, I don't want him to win it.
Bob Backlund is what you want.
Yeah. He don't even want to know. He don't want no cameras rolling.
Nah, that's like what Diesel or something. No, Steiner Brothers did that one time. They won the title. They didn't even have no footage. It was just pictures of their win. It's great. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
But so there was a question that I had coming out of that documentary though, like as far as his reasoning, and I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna say, oh, you didn't, that's not true, because it's like he's at his high school wrestling matches, and he said the kid's dad was like beat Dusty. I'm like, bro, he's like, yeah, you're not even wrestling Dusty. Like, what the hell? His whole thing is like, his whole motivation is like, he want to do this for his dad. So he basically could get a title to his dad to be like, hey, you couldn't get it, but I got it. Like, what does that do in the psyche for the kids though? Like, cause we got a lot of kids that's like that. They live their whole life to please their parents, basically. Right. I'm not saying that that's what he's doing, but the documentary painted a picture like his drive is solely to do something because his dad never got a chance to do it.
Well, his dad is gone, and to honor him passing and not around anymore would be to achieve something he didn't in the organization and in the sport that he loves. So I think it's just a nice homage that he's trying to get done. And I think that when you just give it to him like that, you put him in the Royal Rumble, you make him win the Royal Rumble for some reason, off of an injury, then go into WrestleMania, and then he miraculously wins it in a pre-scripted drama of a sport, that is kind of weakening that moment. Him losing, now he has adversity. Now he's going through things with Brock Lesnar. And he overcame Brock Lesnar. Now he's going to show up one day, which we don't know when. Hopefully one day he'll win the title. That's more compelling than this, the movie's about to end in 2 hours. Oh, good guys have to win. Boom, credits roll. Don't want that crap. Just have it done in a more organic, more believable fashion than this storytell crap. Nobody wants to see that crap. We've seen that already. We lived that already. Evolve from that nonsense. So I was relieved. I was relieved when Triple H had his ass lose and that rubber chicken is in there. That was perfect. That was like bravo. That's what made it great, because everybody in that arena and on TV was saying the same thing. It's a foregone conclusion that he's going to win. So it gave Roman Reigns even more power. And then it made you, nobody since that loss says, oh, Cody's trash. Matter of fact, you could make an argument that they're even more behind Cody. So that's perfect. That's
everybody's saying Cody should be champion right now. Everybody, especially when we see the champion that we have now.
I don't worry about those. I don't worry about those everybody. Those same everybody said the bloodline. The bloodline was the greatest storyline of all time. that same dumbasses were saying that crap.
You know what I can see happening, and I'm gonna tell you because they're gonna find a way to bungle this up. Cody will go into the Royal Rumble next year at number 1. So everybody's like, oh man, he's going into number 1, so he's gonna earn it. But guess who he's gonna be in the ring with at the end? LA Knight. And now you're gonna make the fans have to choose between Cody and LA Knight. And God forbid Cody eliminates LA Knight and the fans turn on him, because I could see that happening. And that will furthermore show you that WWE just ruined it. Just what did Vince say to Stone Cold? You ruined it, damn it. You ruined it.
See, but I don't think Cody should win back-to-back. I think LA Knight should win the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way to get Cody on SmackDown. And find a way to put LA Knight permanently on Raw. I
don't think that's the issue though. That's not an issue because
that means LA Knight will be wrestling Seth if Seth is still champion, and Cody,
I ain't got no problem with that.
And Cody is now the secondary champion.
But they're gonna phase out the brand thing. I mean that whole lottery draft crap, whatever. That's being phased out. That's what they do
it before. I'm saying. So if you swap LA Knight with Cody some type of way, let LA Knight win the Royal Rumble. He'll face the world champion. That way, there's nothing in the way for Cody to face the WWE champion. Well, Roman Reigns. There's no reason for it to be a conflict. That's what I'm saying. I think that'll be the easier way to get there. You can't have Cody win back-to-back Royal Rumble.
I would prefer LA Knight to just start winning some goddamn matches rather than winning a Royal Rumble. I mean, his win-loss record
and
is
the Street
ridiculous.
Profits every damn week.
Yeah, he's got to start winning matches that matter. He's got to be in high-profile pay-per-view matches and be seen doing things that matter. I think that will do much better for him than just winning a Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble shouldn't be won by him for that. That's the same reason I didn't want him winning the Money in the Bank. He needs to go through it. He needs to actually build himself up, and he's got to win some matches. So he has from now till next year.
Who gets okay? So fantasy book. Who gets a title shot at Roman first? Bobby Lashley or Sheamus?
Neither.
Because they're gonna play off of Sheamus's comments. You better believe they're gonna.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
They're absolutely gonna play off of that.
I mean, if they did, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I would love to see that. But that's the reason why I don't think they're gonna do it, because it actually would be a good thing to do.
We're in August. He has to defend the belt between now and the end of the year, man. Come on, man.
Whatever. You don't know this guy Roman Reigns, obviously. This guy said, I don't gotta do nothing.
I don't know where he's gonna do it. If you're doing bragging rights at Survivor Series, what are you gonna do at Survivor Series if it's bragging rights? Obviously, you're gonna have to put champion versus champion.
Well, then you got to throw Sheamus in there. I mean, Sheamus has a storyline. Sheamus beat him in, what was it? What was the shirt? Like 15 seconds or something like that. So you gotta play off of this, because Sheamus is legitimately upset. Sheamus is a believable person to go in there and beat Roman's ass. I mean, let's not sleep on Sheamus. And he has the brawling brute, so it won't be like he always has a numbers game against him. I think it could work.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for Survivor. Like I said, all I know is they talking about bragging rights at Survivor Series. So obviously they're doing Raw versus SmackDown. Obviously.
MD said, "Nah."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm saying I'm just looking at what when they want to do. Me personally, I want to see Bobby Lashley. That's me.
Yeah, I want.
Oh
Bobby
yeah,
Lashley.
it would be great to see Bobby Lashley, but you know they're not going to do it. They're not going to do that.
So
we'll see.
So where do you guys rank this Cody doc? I rank it in my lower top 10.
Lower top 10? What the frig?
Yeah. Listen, I own a lot of WWE documentaries.
I got all of them sometimes too. I've seen all of them. There's nothing really knocks your socks off.
His doc wasn't even better than his dad's own.
Oh, please get real. From the production standpoint, how they did it, they filmed those little segments of him walking and the narration, the footage that they normally never show you from other organizations. That thing was great, man. That was awesome. That's nothing to sneeze at.
It was unique.
Exactly. That was unique.
Yeah, so I don't know how I would even rank it among. Like I said, to me, my all-time greatest doc that WWE did was Hard Knocks. That's me. Benoit.
Yeah, that was good too. That was good too. But when they do their documentaries, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get that generic music, and then they're gonna put that picture standing with a background, and then it's out of focus, then it comes into focus, and then they say, well, he grew up on a farm and blah, blah, blah. And it's that same format when they do those. It's very like low level. This felt like somebody from Hollywood, like a company from Hollywood or something, put it together. It was well edited. I could appreciate that. And it's well shot. The WWE stuff, they did that either in-house or below house or whatever. So it can only go but so far.
Hey, let me ask you real quick. Have y'all seen any of the AEW documentaries?
They have them?
I mean, they on A&E.
Oh, the A&E documentaries.
Yeah, those are great.
You said the AEW documentaries.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought I said A&E. My bad.
I'm like, what the hell? They got documentaries. But A&E always been doing good wrestling documentaries. Remember they did the Wonderful World of Pro Wrestling? I think that was one of the best wrestling documentaries I ever watched. And that was years ago they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Legend series that they're doing right now, though. I think the latest one.
I haven't watched.
I think the latest one they did was Roddy. Roddy Piper was the latest one.
I have not watched one of those yet.
Yeah, you got to see that. The Undertaker stuff is good. Well, Kurt Angle is like amazing, but again, it's not really. Is it the actual documentary, or is it the subject and where the story goes that you're liking? You know what I'm saying? So that's the other thing too. You could do the documentary editing and how they present things on the screen. That could be nice and well done, but you may favor a person's story over another more, and that's also gonna tilt your favor one way than the other.
I'm assuming with the A&E documentary, like for somebody like Kurt Angle, they would go into the drug and alcohol.
They did. Yeah, they did. It was great.
WWE wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
They definitely did go into it, and
that's why that would be better though, because that's if I'm gonna watch something about a guy, I want to know everything about the guy.
Yeah, well, Cody Rhodes don't get the drug problem.
That's why I didn't have a problem with the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. I thought that was
horrible.
That was horrible. That was
horrible. That was a complete hit job on a guy that wasn't even in the
get out of here. You heard
that
somebody
was horrible.
say that. Get out of here.
That was some lame ass crap.
Triple H was burying the hell out of him.
Exactly.
I saw that documentary.
Everybody, Bobby Heenan was doing it. Flair was doing it.
Everybody else.
Yeah, because they were encouraged to do that before the cameras roll, and it was crap. I mean, I'm sure come on now, everybody has somebody that don't like somebody. That's going to be the case, but damn, like they just dedicated 2.5 hours of burying a guy. That's just weird.
It was great. Man, I almost said something, but man, that was gonna go into real dark humor there.
Oh boy.
Zay would have said that. I ain't gonna say it.
Just say it.
So I was gonna be like, so you got buried twice.
Damn. Damn.
Lordy.
Oh man. All right, so where would you put that Cody doc though? Like what? Give it a number in the top 10. What would you with what you've seen so far?
It's one or two. What
would
I have
be
my
one,
favorites because of
what would be
people.
what would be one if he's what would be one if he's two, and what would be two if he's one?
Well, well, if we talk about the A&E ones, I really like the Kurt Angle.
No, we talking about WWE documentaries.
Okay, so we're talking about the DVDs, the ones that came out. So I just like MD said, the Chris Benoit one, it was always really good. I like the Dusty. The Jake the Snake is good, but you know,
just said the Dusty one was shit though.
No, I did not. I did not say it was trash. I'm saying that it has certain production values that wasn't as good as the Cody Rhodes one. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Just because I say something is not as good as something else doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just saying I think the Cody one is better. But I'm just saying Chris Benoit, Dusty was really good. The Road Warriors, I like that one a lot. They're, just off the top of my head, I'm just thinking about those. But
what's your number one? If you put the Cody doc at number one, what's your number two behind it?
Go to MD. I'm thinking about it. Go to MD.
Say what, Trevor?
Where would you put it? Where would you put the Cody doc?
I put it around maybe 4. Because like I said, I got the Hard Knocks number 1. Rise and Fall of ECW number 2.
Fantastic.
The Ric Flair and the
wait a minute, hold on. You're counting the organization ones?
Yeah. We talking about WWE
the wrestlers. I'm looking at the wrestler ones.
Oh, WWE, anything they put out.
Yeah, I like Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen, David. That's
my number one. That's my number one.
And then I'll probably put the American Nightmare one like 4.
Okay, so you got them in good company because the Ric Flair and the Horseman one is my favorite. The Dusty Rhodes one was number 2. Then you got Triumph Over Tragedy, the story of WCCW. I watched that like 10 times. You have the Rise and Fall of ECW. You got the Rise and Fall of WCW. Then you got
I don't even like that one, Rise and Fall of WCW. I hated that DVD.
I loved it. Then you got the AWA one. It's for me, it's like number 7. Like you see me just ripping them off, like and these are ones that I've watched. I'm not talking about I just watched them one time. I'm talking about I've watched these things multiple, like more than 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I love the documentaries. So yeah, I'll agree with Venkat. The what they say to the victor goes to spoil, or the victors get the right history, or whatever, however the saying goes. So yeah, they take liberty. But as far as the stuff that you get to see, like with the Horsemen, where they take you behind and you relive when Flair was in the hotel. No, Ronnie Garvin was in the hotel waiting for Flair, and dressed in a dress, and then he punched him in the like. It's just stuff like that, man. You see, and you like, damn. So the Cody one, I put it in the top 10, but I got to put it like at 7. That don't mean that it wasn't good. I thought it was really, really good. To me, it was really good. Like the stuff. What really got me, the most compelling stuff though, is the hatred that Brandy has for AEW. She does not like them.
Bro, I think something happened. Like I said, go back and watch the documentary. Obviously, it's something happened between Brandy and whoever in AEW. The writing on the wall when he was explaining, like the reason behind it. That to me
writing on the wall, that was a large part about it. You know what I'm saying? So she may not say it for years on end, but at some point in time, like when Cody retired, whatever, she gonna do a shoot interview and she gonna tell it. You know what I'm saying?
Because she said
we may be old. Right.
Yeah. Somebody, I agree, man. Somebody pissed her off because when they came to her and the look that, I mean, we know the black girl look, the look she had on her face, I'm like, oh boy. So what did y'all think about the comment that pissed everybody off what Triple H said?
I think Triple H is being a jackass.
Which I 100% agree with, but not for nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
Triple H.
Yeah,
Triple H
he ain't say nothing that wasn't true.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't say a damn thing that wasn't true. You want to be the champion of the biggest company in the world, not the second rate.
Not the secondary.
Yeah.
Not the secondary.
Nobody ever remembers who lost the Super Bowl. Nobody can remember the Super Bowl runner-up. But you can remember who won. Well, yeah, you can remember because your Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-point lead.
Man. Yeah, I can remember. It's etched in my mind for all eternity.
Oh man. All right, so I want to see, I want to ask this. All right, real quick, Venkat.
I don't know why you're saying. I don't know why you're saying real quick, Venkat. Like I take a lot of time.
I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. MD, how familiar are you with this is our detour from wrestling real quick. How familiar are you with the Michael Orr story? What's been going on with him?
Yeah, I ain't too familiar because when that stuff was going on, you know, the Trump stuff was going on top of it. So I was more focused on it. But from what I heard, that the whole adoption thing was made up and it was actually like a consortium, something like that.
Yeah. Like Britney Spears did, like when she had to deal with.
And he was basically a football slave. That's what he was. And I even heard like a lot of the endorsement that he was getting in high school, they were splitting it up even to the point where the kids was getting the money. I said that's effed up.
He didn't get anything, and he signed over a percentage of his earnings to Fox, to the movie production company. So he basically didn't make any money off of that movie. But so here's my one issue. The movie came out in 2009. We're now in 2023. I just listened to an interview with him today, and he said and I noticed when the movie came out, you never heard anything from him. Like I was wondering,
at all.
Yeah, you never heard him promoting the movie or anything like that, and it was a really good movie. Like I watched it. It
was. Yeah.
Like, damn, man, look at this white couple.
I'll never watch that crap.
I'm like, man, look at this white couple. Getting him. So he was saying he was pissed because it made it seem like he was dumb. And he was like, listen, I was doing plays in elementary school. He said that the movie made him look like he was stupid, and it messed him up when he had to play football because his teammates was looking at him like he couldn't remember the playbook when he knew the playbook. So,
but he was a Pro Bowler by the time that movie came out.
And he was an All-American in high school.
Yeah. They did try to make him look stupid. That part I ain't gonna front. You know, they did. What was it? This is the quarterback blind side. You gotta protect it. I remember all that stuff.
You remember when because he didn't know nothing. He was just this big oaf that he was hungry, so he didn't get to eat or anything like that. And they took him in. Yeah, you got your Southern Belle white girl with the Christian family morals.
Yeah. And Sandra Bullock is catching heat too now, I heard.
Yeah, but Sandra, I mean, you can't blame her. She was good.
She's just an actress. Like what she do?
You can't blame her.
But they were real comfortable making a big black guy look stupid.
Man,
They were real comfortable with
have
that.
have you watched any porn ever in your life?
Oh Lord, this is I have to friggin' do with anything, man.
Damn, man, cat.
I don't even know what we're laughing for.
I don't know.
Hey, wait. Hey, so hold on. Damn, I just threw myself. Yeah, Bones is saying he don't think Sandra deserves blame. She don't. I mean, she's an actress. You can't blame her. You could blame the girl that she was portraying, because, like MD said, they was using his money to split between the husband, the wife, and their 2 kids. If he was adopted, why not break him off? He's saying that they've been running with this narrative that he was adopted the whole time, and he never was. But again, here's my question. This movie was made in 2009. It's now 2023. Why now?
Because I don't think the conservatorship is still going. I don't think so. I think
what was it like what was it like what would they call it, what's the keep quiet agreements called?
NDA.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't NDA. The consortiums, they're not based off of age. Like you can basically have a consortium on somebody like for the rest of their life. You know, it depends on how they run it. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's in there no more. That's got to be the reason why he's able to talk now. Because when he signed, he thought he was signing for them to adopt him. That's allegedly what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right. So he's not saying that that he signed over all his money. He didn't know that. He thought he was being adopted.
But how does that work?
He may just found out.
Don't you adopt through an agency? Like, how can you sign for somebody to adopt you? How does that? I don't know how that works. Obviously,
well, according to the movie, the mom signed over her rights. Remember, they were staying in the projects, and the mom signed over her rights to the white family for him to go play football in that district. Remember that in the movie?
Yeah, because she wanted him to go to that prestigious school.
Right. But that ain't how it happened. But you still can't take away mom had to know about like what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't right.
Oh, Ricardo, I don't know what happened. He just fell off. But hold on, because and again, I don't know how the adoption thing work. But he can't sign for his adoption. Like, I mean, the adoptions have to go through the state, correct?
Right. But what I'm saying is,
you don't know that.
So the mom has legal authority.
Something he didn't know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying.
Well, no, he couldn't have signed anything. He was an adolescent
for his own adoption.
The mom had something to do with it.
How old was he at the time?
30, he's 37.
No, not right now. At the time.
Because I got to do the math here. He's 37 now, so he couldn't have been more than 16, 17.
Yeah.
What's up, Ricardo?
What's going on, folks?
Ricardo in the chat.
What's happening?
Yeah, like I called it all along though, because I think for me, he's always made it clear when he was doing the whole press release and the press junket for the movie, he was like, "This is not how my life is," and he's always been disgusted by the fact that he kept portraying him as like dumb, like IQ wise. So I kept saying to myself, why would you?
Hold on, Ricardo. I'm trying to fix your mic because it's you sounding kind of choppy.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear my static in the background. No, I was saying that he kept saying that it was not.
It's echoing.
It's echoing. Yeah, I still hear the echo. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Why am I echoing? Hang on for. Does it sound a little bit better now?
Nah, I mean, we could make you out.
Damn, man. All right, so try a little. Let me see one, please. Any better?
Go ahead.
Coming in and out. Maybe you should come in and out. You know, like leave and then come back in.
Yeah, let me try it one more time. Damn, man.
I know, man. Come up here to drop a drool and yeah, but I just find it weird that that happened. The movie came out in 2009. He clearly was. I mean, well, they'll say he wasn't an adult, but he was probably early 20s. So that's a damn adult to me. And here he is, 37, retired. Former number 1 draft pick. Like, why didn't he say then, like, hey man, y'all know none of that stuff wasn't real, right? I'm just saying, like, what?
Probably legally he couldn't. He probably legally could not say anything.
Well,
what is the state of his money today?
Oh, Michael Orr, he should be good, man. Michael Orr should be good, bro. Yeah, he had a long, illustrious career in the NFL. He should be all right.
But you know what?
If they would
made like 38 million.
Yeah, but that money obviously wasn't going all to him. It was splitting between the family all this time.
No.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, we talking about the sponsorship. Look, my sons go to a premier football school. They get like damn near like NILs almost. So what happens is a lot of the booster club sponsorships, money goes towards some of those players. Because a lot of the players, let's take like the blind side for instance, he would be considered a transfer player, meaning he don't live in that district per se, but he's getting sponsorship of money or whatnot to play at that school, which I think should be illegal because they do it at my son's school. But hey, that's another story all on itself. So a lot of the sponsorships that he was getting was going to the consortium, not to him. Now let's say he was adopted. I mean, technically, it still wouldn't have went to him. It would have went to his adopted family. But the consortium was way past. Then he went to Ole Miss. Remember, in Ole Miss, he was still getting those endorsements through the consortium. It was going through what do they call that bank account? Like when you're like a trust. Like let's say like you. Yeah, kind of like a trust. It's a certain name to it though.
Escrow?
It's not an escrow account. So let's say like you're a child actor or something. The money that you get paid, it goes to a certain account.
Right.
You can't touch to a certain amount of time. It goes through the consortium. So the consortium in that aspect can do whatever they want with the money. You see what I'm saying? All the way up through his college days. So that's what it was.
Can't he sue them then for like retroactive pay?
Absolutely.
No, because the consortium is legal. It ain't nothing illegal about that consortium account.
Welcome to America.
That's crazy. That's
capitalism.
He said capitalism. Wow. Look,
they capitalized the hell out of his ass, didn't it?
A lot of them child stars that come out be drug addicts and you see like that's how they get like that because of consortium. Even though when we talking about they parents, like it ain't like it's an adoption. The consortium is based on what the child is getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like it's just okay, I get the money and I give it to my mom and she give me some, I give her. No, the consortium is legal based on the custodial ownership of whatever person.
Yeah.
So technically, it's not your money; it's the consortium money.
That's crazy.
It's a swindle. I'll admit it's a swindle.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
But it's a swindle through your parents. Your parents are swindling, basically.
What I'm a little bit unsettled by with the whole thing is that they came out with a statement like yesterday saying something along the lines of, I think it was the father, the Mr. Tui, saying something along the lines of, if it seems beneficial, they're the ones that would allow him to they basically they're saying they will end it when they feel like they choose to end the conservatism towards him. But I'm like, but he's a grown-ass man. Why would you then say that when you see it best fit to end it? Like, he's 30, isn't he 30 something now? So he's old enough for you to end the conservative. Why would you still need to legally have it in place?
That's why in the movie they got him looking like a dumbass like that to justify that he's so frigged up mentally that he can't possibly handle that money. So that's propaganda they're using right there to make people feel like, well, of course we should have him under this rule because he's not capable mentally.
Remember, what was that last year? Britney Spears was going through the same thing. She was still under consortium with her mom.
That hell of a battle she went through for that one.
Right, and that's $80 million. That was it, $85 million, if not $100 million of the money that she's worked from the time she was working until she mentally became incapacitated. They took in ownership of her. So it's crazy. This whole, I think it opened up a door that we probably, us, the public or society, has never been aware of in terms of conservatorship. Because if that was the case with Michael Jackson, it would have been the same case if they had done it to him, because that's a lot of money in one trust. And when he's not even asking for much. I think he said he's asking for $15 million now, and they refused to give it to him. So that's why he went into the open to the public. It was like, yo, this has been going on for years. And it wasn't until yesterday that the family admitted that they put him in the conservatorism for whatever the reason. Why was that not disclosed the whole time? I just kept calling it at the beginning. I kept saying that there was just something weird about when the movie came out, and then when he kept doing the press junkets, he was like, I don't like the portrayal of how my life seems on screen, because they keep portraying me like a dumb person. I know how to play basketball, I know how to play football, but for the portrayal of the movie to make it look like heartwarming, they made me seem dumb, and I just wasn't comfortable. And he kept saying it during the press junkets, and I'm like, that's not normal for someone to then sign the rights over for a movie and then be uncomfortable when they see the final end results. That just didn't sit well with me. And now here we are now, how many years after the movie and after what we know of what they gave us for a portrayal in the public eye, that's what we're getting now. It's kind of sad though. It really is a defining moment where I'm like, this is nothing new that we wouldn't have known, but at the same time, like, damn.
Right.
Really? Like, really, this is what we're doing? Wow.
Right. Yeah. It's a tough situation. Like I said, I agree with consortiums to a certain point. Like once you legal, like it should be out of the way. Even with Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones had to get Michael Jackson out of. He was originally in the consortium.
Exactly.
But Quincy Jones got him out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because it was tied under Jackson 5 and all of that, and he got rid of it. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Go ahead, Trevor. Well, I guess Trevor ain't there.
Yeah, I think Trevor leaped off a building or something. He's quiet as hell.
But yeah, so yeah, man, it's a bad situation, like I said. But that shows you, and I don't necessarily blame the consortiums. I blame the parents.
Exactly.
The parents just get greedy.
What happened to his real parents?
I don't know. According to the movie, they allow all of this to happen. You know what I mean? But like I said, I can only assume that, because remember, Van Cat, a lot of these high caliber football high schools, they do this stuff at my son's school.
Wow.
Half of the football team doesn't live in that school district. They live somewhere else.
Wow.
But the booster club and all of that stuff gives the parents money and sponsorships and stuff like that to get them to ship them off to the high school, even to the point where they live with these satellite. They're not quote unquote foster. They call them satellite families, meaning it's kind of like you remember like foreign exchange student had like a satellite family.
Right.
So even to the point where they'll go live like this guy from the hood that's good at football, he'll go live with the white family just so he could go to school and play for the team.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So it's consortiums like still going on in football.
Wow.
What you think about that, MD, though? Like the business of football to where they're doing stuff like that. You got sons that play football.
It's big business.
I'm saying, like, if so, somebody wanted your kids to play in another state, and they're offering
allow it.
They
I wouldn't allow
so
it.
you wouldn't allow. All right, that's what I
No,
wanted.
hell no, hell no. Because like I said, I put it to you like this: in order for me to do something like that, I would have to hire a lawyer, and we're gonna have to look at the fine print. You see what I'm saying? If the fine print don't come out right, then no, he couldn't do it. Because like a lot of times, a lot of these parents, they looking at my son has an opportunity to get a scholarship to go to college. My son has the opportunity to potentially go to the NFL. Tell me where I need to sign. Next thing you know, you done signed your son's life away, and they give you a couple of shekels in a bag, and that's all you get.
Yep.
And hope that you'll be the one sitting in that green room come draft day. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
That's how it works.
That's crazy though. That goes to show you like parents like, and that's why I gotta hand it to like parents like Serena and Venus dad, like call him the greatest tennis coach of all time, because that man did not play around with his kids. He was like, listen, if you gonna do such and such, I gotta be there. I gotta make sure I'm looking out for the best interest of my kids, not for what you want in terms of the end result, because that's not gonna work for me or my family. And he stood adamant on that, and they hated him to this very day for it, because I guess they couldn't manipulate him. But you gotta hand it to parents like those that are like, listen, you're not gonna do whatever you feel like doing with my kid. That's not gonna work, because they might end up being messed up in the end, and that's not something that I want to be, responsible for. But that's crazy. It's just crazy to think about this whole damn thing years after that. Now this is what we're finding out, and it doesn't really surprise us, really. I mean, it surprised some people, but I'm like, if you really were reading between the lines, he kind of was telling everybody what was going on in the background. But I guess we got caught up in the hysteria of the movie and the feel-good moments of it, and we're like, oh, that's so cute and beautiful. But then, it's like, if you notice, there was a lot of copycat things going on after that movie came out, because I was watching Inside Edition, and they were like, you have a random white woman talk about, oh, I'm going to adopt this black kid because he's a great basketball player. And I'm like, this is not something that you guys should be like, it's like you should be doing it out of the goodness of your heart, not just for the notoriety of it. But then this is America. Capitalism is rampant. So what can
that capitalism, MD.
Look at
I hear it, man. I hear it.
Look at any actress, any white actress in Hollywood though, adopting all these African kids and stuff. Like it's
Sandra Bullock. Didn't Sandra Bullock adopt too? Angelina Jolie.
Well, I know Angelina Jolie has two of them. Madonna.
I think she got more than two.
Well, not African. She has, Sandra's.
I think she got one black one and something else.
Yeah, she got one that look kind of South Pacific or something.
Yeah.
But well, folks, this is, y'all could expect this and much more on Tape Fist Politics. Because
one last thing, Trevor. That's why NIL is so great for these college kids.
Oh, I love it.
Speaking of documentaries, go look at the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix, because he talked about this very thing. He was saying how the school was getting money off of his likeness, basically through autographs and stuff like that. He wasn't receiving nothing.
That's crazy.
So he went out and illegally did it. So, he was like, Bumpet, I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? And he was making millions of dollars while he was at Texas A&M. It was illegal, but he was doing it.
What about like Chris Webber with Michigan years ago in the 90s, where Chris Webber took money when he was coming up, and then once the NCAA got wind of that, they banned, all the records, and they retroactively took everything that they got, and he was like had a dark cloud over him, but then he went to the NBA and whatnot. But still to this day, he still feel a certain way about that.
They did that to Reggie Bush also.
Right.
Yeah, they did it to Reggie Bush. That's why I said NILs are the future. The whole goal was for the NCAA and the schools to make money, not you.
Damn.
Like the little money that the parents was getting off a consortium or whatever, that was scraps compared to what the NCAA was making.
No, MD, but you getting the free education according to Comrade Venkat.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how I get turned into this. Oh Lord. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, next segment, man. Next segment.
The NIL deals, man, is awesome, man, and because these guys, hell, even the quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes, who wasn't any good, I think he was clearing like 500,000 in NIL deals. I mean, so that's crazy. He'll never see the NFL. All right, so like I was saying, though, you know, y'all will hear this and many more conversations on Tape Fist Politics when it debuts now August 29th at 6:05 p.m. So all right, I want to get into and Ricardo did say he want to be a part of that too. So Ricardo, because y'all here, as soon as we start talking about this, Ricardo jumped up here. He ain't never been on the damn Wrestling with Reality, but the minute you talk about this, he hop his ass up here. But so
I'll be glad to have him on. Glad to have him.
So I want to get into a new segment of the show, a new thing that I want to start doing every week. This one is going to be a little bit longer because I'm trying to catch up for the month. I want to do a this week in wrestling segment. So where we just go over everything that happened this week in wrestling. It's self-explanatory. So a lot of it I'm just going to breeze through because, like I said, this is covering the first 15 days of the month. Next week it'll be much shorter because I'll actually be doing it weekly versus trying to cover the whole month. And then we'll just keep going until we catch back up to August. So I just want to go over. I know we could come up with a catchy tune and everything. Venkat. Oh, Venkat, I don't know if you heard the show Monday. I mean, I got some more work for you on your plate. It ain't no big rush, but whenever you get a chance to, we need to add Kev into the Man Talk Monday intro.
Oh Lord.
Hey, I told you had to wait for his probation to be up, and his probation is up now. Will it be difficult?
No, I think I still have the elements, but I'm running out of space. I have to start deleting stuff. But yeah, I'll see what I can do. I got like a backlog. I need to do the timers. I got all kinds of stuff I need to do.
And I need the transparent Wrestling with Reality logo. I should have made that clear.
Oh, that was my mistake. That was my fault. No, I'll get it to you.
You better slow down, man. You're gonna make Trevor go. I mean, you're gonna make Venkat go on strike or something, man. You don't
Speaking of,
you better slow it down.
Check my residuals.
Speaking of strike, though, one thing I did want to ask y'all, with the writers being on strike, how do they still have writers for wrestling? Are they? I thought they all were like in the same guild.
I don't know if those
don't
are
think
the
so.
same. I don't think. Yeah, because this is for film arts. You know, it's for actors. I don't know if they're in the same. You know,
it's a Screen Actors Guild.
Right.
Screen Actors Guild.
Vince McMahon have all kinds of ways around things. He probably structured the contracts in certain ways that stopped them from even participating.
I could have swore one time this happened before, and I could have swore I heard something about wrestling writers potentially striking, but yeah,
that would be great if they did it, but they ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, the show might be better.
Well, true. It would bring out some creativity from the talent that is being suppressed right now. That's probably true.
Be like, hey man, go out there and book your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They probably come up with a million times better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I don't know how many of these I'm gonna get through, but we'll see. All right, so this week in wrestling history, and like I said, this covers the month of August from August 1st to August 15th. So this week in wrestling history, in 1962, Bruno Sammartino defeated Buddy Rogers to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Toronto, Canada. Remarkably,
What?
What?
Bruno won the NWA title?
Yeah.
In
Toronto, Canada. But hold on. Remarkably, San Martino refused to take the title after Rogers claimed to suffer a groin injury, and therefore the title change was reversed. So there you go. That's why you don't know about it.
That's okay. I was like,
That's
wait a
why you
minute.
don't know about it.
Okay.
1992, Ron Simmons became the first African American to win a major world title in wrestling when he defeated Lex Luger to win.
Not
Oh
true.
no, so it could have
Big
been the
Man
US.
Vader.
Wait a minute. Yeah, this
He
is
lost
wrong.
to Lex Luger Halloween Havoc 91.
Yeah,
2 out of 3
1992,
falls.
he beat Vader at that
It
lottery.
was in Baltimore. Yeah, it was in Baltimore.
And y'all gonna get this a lot. Van Cat gonna turn into Mr. Encyclopedia here. So this is wrong. When I pulled this, I didn't look at who it was, but it says Ron Simmons defeated Lex Luger. So yeah, it absolutely was Vader to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in Baltimore, Maryland. 1998, ECW presented Heat Wave 98 on pay-per-view with an estimated 100,000 buy rate. It was the most widely viewed pay-per-view in their entire run. That's interesting.
That's good.
This week in wrestling in 2008, Ring of ROH Death Before Dishonor 6 took place in the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. The main event saw Nigel McGuinness defeat Daniel Bryan, Tyler Black, and Claudio Castagnoli. So he defeated Daniel Bryan, Tyler Black, and Claudio Castagnoli in a 4-way to retain the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. In 1996, Dr. Death Steve Williams made his ECW debut at the aptly named the Doctor's Inn show held at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia. I don't even remember a Dr. Death run in ECW.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking that he was in there.
Damn. You remember that, MD? Because I know you were heavy on ECW.
Yeah, I remember when they I didn't see a show particularly with him on it, but I remember them talking about it. Yeah. So it wasn't that big a deal to me. I ain't seen it.
What did you think of Dr. Death? Well, what did y'all think of Dr. Death? I don't think we ever had the Dr. Death conversation.
I liked them in early WCW NWA time, but I think they were trying to get him higher, especially in WWF with Jim Ross. Jim Ross was trying to push him, but then they had that realistic fighting tournament.
Brawl for all.
And he got embarrassed. Which shows you why you like you think the top guy is really a top guy. It ain't really nothing.
That was all Vince Russo's doing, though, that Brawl for All. And I think they did it to humble Dr. Death. That's why they did it, because Jim Ross went in and said that Doc is going to win it all, that he's going to beat everybody up. And then that's when Bart Gunn said, "Hold my beer," and he took him out. So 1997, WWE SummerSlam took place at the Continental Airlines Arena in Rutherford, New Jersey. The main event saw Bret Hitman Hart defeat The Undertaker for the WWF Championship. However, the event is best known for being the night when Stone Cold Steve Austin suffered a career-altering broken neck at the hands of a botched Owen Hart tombstone power driver. Austin managed to finish the match to win the Intercontinental title. So that's when Van Cat said last week that when I mentioned Roman Reigns being hurt, he was like, Stone Cold finished the match. That's the match he's talking about. If that's what you want to call finish.
He finished it. He won the damn title, didn't it? With the ugliest roll up ever that he said, but he finished with a broken freaking neck.
This week in wrestling in 2020, on an episode of Monday Night Raw from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, Shane McMahon made his return to the company as a central figure in debuting Raw Underground. I liked Raw Underground. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
I wasn't even watching that.
That was trash.
I liked Raw. I liked the whole shoot fight. I love the way it was shot and the way God, what was Bobby Lashley's group? What the hell was it called? The Hurt Business. How they came in there one night and just beat up everybody.
As they should.
I thought that was so cool, man. What they should have done is just had them kind of running that like they were, like underground crime boss or something, but they don't know how to do that. So in 1998, the Von Erich family owned World Class Wrestling Association, former WCCW, merged with the Continental Wrestling Association, ran by Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Lawler out of Memphis, to create the United States Wrestling Association. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when what happened when USWA and when World Class merged with Continental and Eric Embry tore down the World Class sign? You guys remember that?
No,
that's y'all.
I just remember seeing GWF, Global Wrestling Federation, show up afterwards.
Yeah, I was so pissed when that happened, man, because I was a WCCW fan. In 1995, WCW's Collision in Korea event aired for the first time in the UK. Taped in North Korea in April, the 2-day event had a highly disputed cumulative attendance of 300.
It was a high ass the biggest wrestling crowd ever.
300, yeah, but them people were held at gunpoint to go to that
yes,
show.
They were. They were. Yes. Nobody's disputing that one.
If true, this would make these the two highest attended wrestling events in history. The broadcast was headlined by Antonio Inoki defeating Ric Flair. 1997, on the 100th episode of Monday Nitro, Lex Luger defeated Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Great moment.
To win the WCW World Title and end the NWO and end the NWO's leader near 1 year long record.
Yep, that was a great moment.
Yeah, that was a great moment. In 1996, the Great Sasuke defeated Ultimo Dragon in the final for the J Crown tournament to win a total of 8 different titles. But damn, all right, so Roman ain't the GOAT, collectively known as the J Crown. Included in his hall of titles was the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP and NWA Junior Heavyweight Championships, the British Commonwealth Junior Heavyweight Championship. Wow. Okay. Never heard of those. In 2000, Pro Wrestling Noah presented their first event titled Departure in Tokyo. The main event was a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match that saw Jun Akiyama and Kenta Kobashi defeat Akira Ta and Masahiro Misawa by a 2-0 score. In 2006, Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe fought to a legendary 60-minute draw with the ROH Championship at stake at ROH Fight for the Century event in Edison, New Jersey. In 2011, WWE conducted one of the biggest one-day talent purges in their history when they released a raft of talent, including Melina, Harry Smith, Chris Masters, and Vladimir Kozlov. I don't think I came back then. Well, this was August, so I had just come back to watch it, because I stopped watching after the Benoit thing, and I came back when the Summer Punk run started taking off. In 1993, on a house show in Sheffield, England, Hulk Hogan defeated WWF champion Yokozuna by disqualification. This would prove to be Hulk Hogan's last match under the WWF banner until his return to the company in 2002. In 2007, oh boy, in 2007, talking about Chris Benoit, Vince McMahon returned to Monday Night Raw after the Who Killed Vince McMahon angle was dropped. McMahon set up a 20-man battle royal to determine who would be named the general manager of Raw. The battle royal was won by William Regal. Let's see, 1998, WCW Road Wild took place at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in South Dakota. The main event saw Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff defeated by Diamond Dallas Page and late night talk show host Jay Leno. What did you think about those Road Wild, Hog Wild shows?
When it's outside like that, it loses a lot of the luster. I like it better in the arena. I mean, it's a unique look, a unique atmosphere. I give it that, but I like the arena feel.
I like the concept.
I did too.
Yeah, I like the concept, but what Eric Bischoff said is a lot of them guys didn't know anything about wrestling, and there was a lot of racist rednecks there. So like when Booker T and stuff like that would come out, you know the racism flew heavy there.
Yep.
Yeah. But I like the concept of them being outside, and when Hogan came out, they would rev their motorcycles. All right, so we're almost done. In 1980, WWF presented the legendary Showdown at the Shea card at Shea Stadium in Flushing Meadows, New York. A crowd of 36,295 saw Bruno Sammartino defeat Larry Zbyszko in a steel cage. So this was the event that's on the DVD. The huge event also saw a match between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant years before their iconic WrestleMania 3 encounter. That's when it started raining on them. That was crazy. Just to see all that rain coming down. And the card also featured a rare WWF appearance from Antonio Inoki. In 1997, Hollywood Hogan regained the WCW World title from Lex Luger. So literally this was days after. This was the following week. From Lex Luger with a surprise.
The next Nitro, he won it.
Yeah, next week. So Hollywood Hogan regained the WCW World Heavyweight title from Lex Luger with a surprise assist from Sting in the main event of Road Wild in Sturgis, South Dakota. Okay, so he beat him at Sturgis. So he beat him that Sunday. So they couldn't even wait till Monday.
Wow.
Okay, well, I saw it on Nitro. I won.
Yeah, okay, because this happened at Sturgis, so they had a Road Wild, which would have been on Sunday. Man,
Sting didn't help Hogan. I think was it the Giant or somebody that helped Hogan? I don't remember Sting helping Hogan.
I don't remember Sting helping him.
No, I think it's a Giant or somebody like that.
You know who I bet it was? It was the guy that played it wasn't the real Sting. It was the guy that played.
The fake Sting.
Yeah. What was the military? But he came out with a military. You remember Craig Pitbull Pittman?
Yeah.
I remember Craig Pitbull Pittman. Yeah.
Who was the guy that was beefing with him? They had this white guy named Cobra, and when Craig Pitbull Pittman would be wrestling, and he'd hear that Morse code, and then he'd start going wild and crazy like something was going on. And then the guy,
man, I know what you're talking about. What was his name?
Was it Jeff Farmer? Was his real name? I don't remember his real name, but that guy, that was the fake Sting. So that's probably who it was. I'm almost certain now that was the fake Sting that did it.
His Stinger splash was so goofy looking.
In 1976, the man who would go on to become Hulk Hogan had his first professional wrestling match against B. Brian Blair, one half of the Killer Bees.
Killer Bees was good.
Yeah, jumping Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair. They were like the best jobbers ever.
Iron Sheik don't like jumping Jim Brunzell, man. He didn't like him at all.
In 1992, Big Van Vader defeated Riki Choshu at the New Japan Pro Wrestling event in Tokyo to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He would go on to hold the belt for 374 days. In 1996, the recently formed NWO made their presence felt at WCW Hog Wild, where Hulk Hogan defeated the Giant for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, faced Sting and Lex Luger. Harlem Heat squared off against the Steiner Brothers for the WCW tag titles, and Ric Flair defended the U.S. title against Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
I never remember Ric Flair with the damn U.S. belt.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good stuff, man.
Man, in 2008, I feel like I gotta keep saying this week in wrestling history. In 2008, Samoa Joe defeated Booker T in a steel cage weapons match to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Hard Justice in Trenton, New Jersey. The event also marked the beginning of a return angle for Jeff Jarrett, who had not been active in the company for 15 months. MD, I'm pretty sure you saw that.
Yeah, because remember his wife had passed the cancer at that time.
Oh,
so he came back after that.
Is this
and
before
then started screaming with Karen?
Okay, I was about to say, is this before or after he started banging Karen?
Yeah. So So how it start? Well, so he came back after his wife had passed, and I guess the shoulder to lean on was Karen Angle at the time.
Man.
So yeah, good luck. You know what I'm saying?
The married Karen Angle.
Yeah.
Their storylines outside the ring is better than the inside the ring. God damn.
So in 1997 on Raw, Shawn Michaels returned to in-ring action against Mankind and revealed his new insurance policy to be the returning Ravishing Rick Rude. Also on that show, the Nation of Domination revealed Rocky Maivia as his newest member. Boy, that just seemed like that was ages ago.
Ernest the Cat Miller is good, Bones, but
Yeah,
that
I loved Ernest the
Alex
Cat
Wright
Miller.
is busted. That Berlin Alex Wright, he was horrible.
Alex Wright was.
Man,
Alex
you
Wright
ain't like Das Wonderkind, man.
No,
Alex Wright was good, man. I hated
no, he
his
was not.
dance
That
though.
stupid dance.
Yeah, that dance was terrible, but I
Yeah.
loved Alex Wright.
Yeah, that's why Disco Inferno got to take him out because Alex Wright is trash.
Das Wonderkind, the Dancing Fools. Disco Inferno and Alex Wright.
All right, let me see. All right, so in 2014, WWE hosted a special birthday celebration for Hulk Hogan on Raw. Paul Heyman gloats on behalf of his client Brock Lesnar ahead of his title match against John Cena at SummerSlam. Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt have words. Stephanie McMahon gets revenge on Brie Bella, and Randy Orton battles Sheamus. That was when Hulk Hogan was pissed at that birthday celebration because that's when Brock Lesnar came out at the end and was like, "What's going on, old man?" So Hogan was all pissed about the old man comment.
Man, these guys are fragile. There's some big ass men that are fragile like eggshells. My God, you send a tweet these guys about to buckle. You call them an old man. They just falling apart. My goodness.
Wait a minute. Is this real? In 1992 in Tokyo, Masahiro Chono defeated Ravishing Rick Rude in the final of the G1 Climax tournament. As a result, Chono also became the NWA Heavyweight Champion. The title had been been vacant since Ric Flair was stripped of the title when signing for the WWF almost 1 year earlier. This had been the first time the title had been vacant in its then 43-year history.
No, hold on. That don't add up.
They're saying it's never been vacant before.
No. I'm talking about that whole Ric Flair being stripped thing. That's not real. That's not right.
No,
Chono won the NWA title. I remember that. He was a champion
because it was held up. Remember, Flair came in 92.
No, Flair came in 93. Yes, he did, and then he wrestled Barry Windham shortly after and beat Barry Windham for the title.
Flair was in the Royal Rumble 92. So how did he come in 93?
What?
Ric Flair was in the 1992 Royal Rumble.
Ric Flair. I'm talking about Ric Flair being in WCW.
No, we talking about Ric Flair being in WWF.
No, that's not the. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Chono winning the NWA title. And it was vacant because of that whole tournament. It was vacated because of Ric Flair. I don't remember Ric Flair leaving WCW in 93 or 92 to go to WWF and then Chono winning the title. That's not real. That's what you just read just now. That the title was vacated because Flair got stripped. That's not true. Ric Flair didn't get stripped.
Okay, so because I remember Barry Windham versus Lex Luger
that was 91.
No,
Great American Bash 91.
That's when Flair left.
Yes, and then Flair returned in 93 when Mr. Perfect got him out on Monday Night Raw. When he came back in 93, shortly after, he had a feud with Barry Windham for that NWA title. But Chono had been champion in 92. I think late 92.
This is where you're messing up.
Okay.
Barry Windham and Luger was for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. It wasn't for the NWA title. This is specifically talking about the NWA title. Remember, for a while they carried two titles on WCW.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. That was mainly end of 92, 93.
And that's what they're talking about.
But Flair wasn't around. Flair didn't come until mid 93, until after that Monday Night Raw loss to Mr. Perfect.
Now you got it. No, but
this don't add up at all because Flair getting stripped.
What are you talking about though? Hold on. No. Because no. What you saying? In 1992, this happened in August of 90. This is all from August. In August of 92, Chono defeated Ravishing Rick Rude in the finals of the G1 tournament. As a result, he became the new NWA champion.
Which they're saying that Ric Flair was stripped?
Remember, they stripped Flair in 91. The ending of 91 when he came over.
Okay, but 91 is a WCW title.
Remember, he wouldn't give back the big gold belt. So they saying Masahiro Chono got the big gold belt.
Yes.
In the tournament.
No, that
is true.
Remember, Flair didn't want to give it back. That's why he went on it with WWF.
No, in 91, WCW got WCW. How am I wrong when I lived it?
No,
91.
I didn't live it too. You wrong.
In Great American Bash, that's the
one that Jim Herd he had the problem with. That was Jim Herd, right?
Yes, but you guys, okay, so you were talking 91, the WCW title. The NWA title didn't come into effect in a dual fashion with the WCW title until mid to late 92. If we're talking about Flair getting stripped.
This is August of 92. What they're saying is that belt was vacant the whole time. You didn't have a champion.
Vacant. Ric Flair's title was the WCW title. The WCW title is official from 91 January when Flair beat Sting in New Jersey.
No.
Oh my God. You got to go watch some documentaries, man. But I know what I'm talking about.
No.
That title that Flair gave up is recognized as WCW title. The big gold belt was a WCW title.
The WCW title is the title that you have.
No, that title was created in 92 after all this happened. Because even the title Luger won in 91 isn't really that title. It came later. That title came much later.
You don't remember when Luger when Rude got hurt and they were calling it like the NWA International title?
Yes, that's 92 to 93-ish.
Before Flair got back.
No, you're wrong. On that.
No, you're wrong, man.
You're wrong on that. This is not even one.
You're down, boy.
Yeah, he ain't gonna, you don't want to lose this one. All right, so
there's nothing to lose. It's like just wrong because the dates don't even add up. The dates don't add up.
It does. I don't think you're seeing that right.
That NWA title is not the same title that Flair left with for WWF when he was a champion. That was not the same title. That's WCW champion was Ric Flair at that particular time. He was recognized as the WCW champion. They weren't calling Sting the NWA champion in 1990 and 91. They weren't calling him that.
Yes, they were, man. Yes, they were. The belt still said National Wrestling Alliance on.
It does not say Wrestling Alliance. The big gold belt never said National Wrestling Alliance. It says World Heavyweight Champion. It was bigger than the NWA. It was bigger than WCW. That title never had NWA on it. But what I'm trying to say is that Ric Flair is recognized as the true first real WCW champion when he won in January in I think Rutherford, New Jersey, whatever it was. It was a house show that didn't get televised on TV. There's only highlights of that match. You can look that up on YouTube. Sting went for a splash, he hit it, and then he rolled him up and pinned Sting, got out of there, and won the title. And he was at that point the first WCW champion when they started going all in on WCW instead of NWA. So when he left to go to WWF, he wasn't leaving with the NWA title. The NWA title, I remember when they said they were going to bring it in. It was restarted, and I forgot who the first one was. It could have been Chono, or it could have been Barry Windham, one of them. But because I don't remember at the moment all those.
It could have been who?
It could have been Barry. Or Barry Windham was fighting Chono and lost.
You said it could have been Chono, right?
No, it could be Chono. Yeah.
And what did they just say that Chono won the belt?
That is not the issue, Trevor. The issue is they're saying that the title that he won was the previous title that Ric Flair was stripped with, which is not true.
All right,
That's
Vanka.
not true.
And this is why I wanted to do this, because I knew something was going to come up. I didn't think it would have been this.
This thing, these things you're reading on is busted because they're telling me Lex Luger was the one that lost to freaking Ron Simmons. I mean, that's like so obvious. This is also an issue because Ric Flair had nothing to do with that NWA title. He was in WWF at the time. He had nothing to do with that NWA title. They restarted that belt because they wanted a second belt.
Well, get all your evidence and we present it. Hey, I'm
There's
not
no evidence needed, man. My God.
I'm just pulling off the site. I'm pulling off. I'm pulling to you, brother. I'm giving you match cards from 2 years ago AEW events.
Yeah. Hey, that ain't my fault. That is my fault. That company's stupid and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They got the same graph. At least the WWE, they use different graphics for the year. If they don't, they used to say SummerSlam 88, 89. They don't do that no more. They just say SummerSlam. They just say, Double or Nothing. But at least they give you a different tone or theme. The AEW is like, no, we're gonna reuse the same thing we did last year and the year before that, and 10 years from now. Like, that's my fault.
All right, let me get to the end of these. We almost wrapping up this week in wrestling history in 1996. The Outsiders. Let's see if Venkat piss on this. The Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash took on Lex Luger and the Outsiders. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash took on Lex Luger in the main event of WCW Monday Nitro. Randy Savage, wait, how? Somebody must have been hurt. Yeah, this seems like he had a partner that never showed up. The Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash took on Lex Luger in the main event. Why would it be a handicap match when his partner may have not showed up? Randy Savage faced Ric Flair. Rey Mysterio battled the Ultimo Dragon, and the Steiner brothers faced Harlem Heat. 1996, on the go-home edition of Raw for SummerSlam, WWE champion Shawn Michaels had a warm-up match for his pay-per-view title defense against Vader. Against Vader by taking on Owen Hart. Ahmed Johnson gave an update on his injury, and Bret Hart speaks about his return to the WWF. In 1994, the very first ECW Hardcore Heaven event took place in the ECW Arena in Philadelphia. Terry Funk and Cactus Jack fought to a no contest in the main event after the tag team of Public Enemy interfered. This event saw one of the most iconic moments in 90s wrestling when the audience threw dozens of folding chairs in the ring, burying the Public Enemy at the end of the show. I remember that. Stop throwing chairs in the ring. Stop throwing chairs in the ring. In 2000, WCW presented their New Blood Rising pay-per-view rather than the usual Hog Wild August event. Every match on the card was contested under no disqualification rules and included Kevin Nash defeating Goldberg and Scott Steiner in a triple threat match. Oh, that's the one where they famously said that didn't go. That's not in the plans. That didn't go according to the booking sheet. And Booker T successfully defended the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in the main event against Jeff Jarrett. In 2005, CM Punk competed in his final match in Ring of Honor at the final chapter in Chicago, where he defeated Colt Cabana in a 2 out of 3 falls match. On the undercard, Roddy Strong defeated Matt Hardy, and Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal defeated the Rottweilers by disqualifications. The Rottweilers. All right, and in 2011, SummerSlam 2011 saw CM Punk become the undisputed WWE champion after defeating John Cena, only to be cashed in on by Mr. Money in the Bank, Alberto Del Rio, after Kevin Nash got a text apparently telling him to stick the winner. On the same day, the finals of this year's G1 took place, with Shinsuke Nakamura winning by defeating Tatsui Naito. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I got 3 more. In 2004, SummerSlam 2004 featured many classic matches, including Kane defeating Matt Hardy to win the right to marry Lita in a death till death do us part match. That was a real thing, huh? More notably, it was at this event that Randy Orton defeated Chris Benoit to become the youngest world heavyweight champion in history at the age of 24. That never happened.
That didn't happen?
Now, according to WWE, that never happened.
Yeah, okay.
According to WWE, whenever they show Randy
Yeah.
Orton winning the belt, they just show him holding the belt up. They don't show him beating nobody.
Yeah, that's when Benoit told him to shake his hand.
Yeah,
it's funny that you say that because on Facebook I was looking today and that's exactly what I saw. They were like Randy Orton, the youngest champion. You just see him with his hand up with the belt.
You just see him holding the belt up. You don't see him nobody beat. In 2010, SummerSlam once again falls on August 15th. And so this day we're on is August 15th in 2010. And the show was mostly focused on the ongoing feud with John Cena and the WWE locker room with the invading rookies from the first season of NXT led by Wade Barrett. The Nexus was defeated. This was one of their biggest mistakes ever, was defeated by Team Cena, which featured the likes of Edge, Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, and a returning Daniel Bryan, amongst others. It also included Sheamus defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. John Cena buried the Nexus that night. He single-handedly killed them, the group that came in so hot. And I think at one point it was like 4-on-1. Because all Cena's partners was out, and I think it was like 4-on-1. Wade Barrett DDT'd John Cena on the floor with the padding taken up, and he went Super Cena and buried all 4 of them. Good night. See you later. None of them in the Nexus ever became anything. And the last one on this day in 2010. The final of the G1 Climax took place, concluded in the 20th anniversary of the tournament. It was won by Satoshi Kojima, who defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi in the finals. And that concludes this week in wrestling history. And we will be doing that going forward. It will not be that long because with this, I covered every day up until the 15th. So yeah, Bones right. This killed the Nexus. Yeah, Nexus was so hot, man, and they killed him dead. John Cena just killed him dead. So
Wade Barrett should have been a multi-time champion, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen. When I do my list of people that should have been WWF champion, Wade Barrett is definitely on there. Because that guy had it all, man. And they were billing him as potentially the
horrible commentator.
No, he's not. The first British born,
awful to listen to.
The first British born heavyweight champion, man. He was a legit bare knuckle fighter. Like he basically could have got the run that Steven Regal should have had.
Steven Regal's good. Yeah, he should have been champion.
He literally should have got the run that Steve Regal should have had. And they were planning on having Regal wrestle Stone Cold, but Regal had a lot of problems back then, when he came in, and it didn't help that they saddled him with that terrible "he's a man, man."
Those IWGP, New Japan Climax tournaments, man. They had it consistently year after year after year for so long. I wish that in America we had an annual event that happened like that. It's never been consistent, like King of the Ring or the Iron Man Future Shock tournament. We never had it consistent. It's always start a little bit and stop. But it would have been a prestigious thing. It would have been a nice way to catapult the next stars in wrestling in America. But I really wish we would have had that. That would have been something to look forward to.
I always say one of my favorite pay-per-views ever of all time is that 1989 or 1990? The 1990, it was 89 Future Shock.
89, yeah.
Like people will look at that pay-per-view now. I gotta watch that again, as a matter of fact, when I get some free time. People will look at that event and be like, man, that was Yeah, I know Bones Venkat I don't know what the hell wrong with him, but people will look at that event and they'll trash it because they'll be like, oh, that round robin tournament style thing doesn't work. That was that tournament was awesome because you had all legit badasses. I mean, they had the Samoan SWAT team. Who did they replace? Because I know they weren't the original team.
Yeah, Doom was there. Samoan SWAT. Oh, Midnight Express.
Okay, because it was a Samoan SWAT team, the Steiner brothers, Doom, and who
and
was
the Road Warriors.
And the Road Warriors. Yeah.
Which, if the Midnight Express was there, that would have been it right there. Samoan SWAT team shouldn't be in there, but whatever.
And it was just like legit. Everybody had to face everybody once, and you got point systems based.
The point system is what is the way you win or the way you lose. That's what's so great about that type of tournament. That everything matters. Nothing is a throwaway in that tournament. I love that. And Lex Luger was winning. Lex Luger was winning most of the night, and it looked like he was going to win.
We got and I love the ending when. And because then they talk about it later when they jump Sting.
Yep.
That, hey, that night we came in there, we was coming to kick your ass, but Ric Flair told us to let you live. Like
right.
I just love the long time storytelling.
Right, but, all that stuff go together. It actually had a sequence and an idea that actually lands. God damn it! Friggin' Bloodline.
Oh man. All right, well, fellas, not too bad tonight as far as time, but we next week we will be doing the AEW. So y'all hear me telling Venkat from now.
What?
We will be doing the AEW All In prediction show.
Okay.
So you handle that part.
What are you talking about? I handle what part?
You handle the match cards.
Nah, that's all right, bro.
Just
make sure you, bro. I think you got your big boy pants on now. You can handle that one.
make sure you get the right ones this time.
This mother lover want to set me up again. I don't think so. It's all right. It's all right, bro.
Hey, you know me, I'll do like but I don't know how they update their website. I'll do like I do on the UFC shows. I'll go right to UFC.com and pull it right up on the screen, and we could look at it right there, show the rating, it show the rankings and everything. I got to check out AEW's website. I don't know how they do that.
Clearly, wrestling is not as sophisticated as UFC because that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, but you see the UFC shows what I do.
I know. It's great to be able to have that access. I mean,
I literally go to UFC.com and pull up everything. They show me the early prelims, they show you the prelims, and they show you the main card. They show you the records. They show you the records. They show you the strikes when the fight's over. They show you the round by round breakdown. And I literally just got to pull it up. Yeah, they do
stats. What a concept, huh?
I literally just pull it up and then they talk about it. I'm gonna check out AEW's website and see if they do that. Maybe they do. They keep records, so maybe they do that. I don't know.
Hell, like I said, we ain't got much of a card right now. So
yeah, I think we only got like 3 or 4 matches announced.
We should know a month at least out.
Exactly, so you can get a build up. What are they building to?
Right. That's how it used to be. Maybe every now and then they'll add 1 or 2 matches, but you'll have a good 8, 9, 10 matches in the books already. I mean, this thing is like days away from happening, and we don't even have a full card.
Well, we'll see how it shapes. Oh, it's going on right now. It's today, Wednesday. Yeah, so Dynamite's going on right now. So maybe some more. Maybe the card will shape out. Bones, you're gonna have to let me know the match listing so we could get. I mean, we don't know what it is. I got to look at the website or something. I don't know, but we will be doing an AEW prediction show nevertheless next week, and we'll come back with This Week in Wrestling History. It'll be much shorter though, just because it'll be a shorter period of time. I'll only cover the week versus this time I try to cover 15 days. So, so it'll be much shorter next week. So, fellas, it's been a pleasure as always.
I can't say enough. I can't say enough. Wade Bird is trash. He needs to find a new career. This guy's straight garbage. And good night, everybody.
This man crazy.
I mean, they moved him up on the Raw team, man. You got a problem?
Van Cat crazy, man. Van Cat crazy. All right, fellas. And like I say, we're gonna start the hashtag free MD20. Free MD 2020. That's what we're gonna start.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Y'all crazy as hell, man.
I'm hashtagging every time on Facebook now.
Yeah, be like free MD 20. Tell them,
even when it has nothing to do with nothing, it's gonna be free. That hashtag is gonna be flying.
Just tell them, come on home. Just get the freedom that you deserve, and get out of the foolishness. Just get out of the foolishness.
That's right.
I got you, man. MD thought box tomorrow, man. Full Trump phone call. Hey, Vetcat, have you heard the full phone call?
No, I didn't hear the full call.
Okay, yeah, it's revealing, man. I'm gonna play it next. I'm gonna play it tomorrow.
No, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it.
Y'all definitely, the link to MD's channel is in the chat up to the top. I don't know how you pin stuff yet, but it's in the earlier part of the show. So y'all make sure and go subscribe to that channel. All right, fellas. Let me go eat some pizza and lay down.
All right.
I got you, man. Peace,
All
everybody.
Right, peace.
All right.
Oh man. Well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it. Another fantastic episode of Wrestling with Reality, episode 19. So next week will be that 20th episode, man. That's a milestone. So so I thank everybody for tuning in. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and share the video. Even those of you watching over on Facebook at the Straight Talk Society, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be right back here again tomorrow night. The party just does not stop because we have another debate tonight. We have a biblical debate tomorrow night between St. Louis, the Undisputed Truth TV. Will be taking on a newcomer to the Straight Talk Society, Brother Jackie McCall, and they will be debating our apostles today. Are there any apostles today? So y'all be sure and tune into that. That'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I think that's it. That's it for me. So anything else, I'll give you the information later on the shows. We do have a UFC 292 preview show. I got to go ahead and make that thumbnail tonight while I'm in here. That will be Friday at 7:30 p.m. So be sure to tune in and look for that. Saturday night will be another episode of Pour Your Heart Out. That's Saturday night at 8 p.m. So like I say, we got so much going on the channel. Thank you guys for coming along for the ride. And like I said, free MD 2020. With all that being said, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. Until tomorrow night, peace.
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep in shit.